Chapter 79, Chapter 79, Jade-Eyed Beast. Chapter 79, Jade-Eyed Beast. Bright moon blade, slash. Dazzling gold chains, trap me. Sun Haoran and Zhao Shihao attacked at the same time. The three of them joined forces and wanted to kill Little White. In the air, the three martial arts grandmasters' shocking auras and Little White's violent dragon energy tore through the air. Li Lingtian was envious of them. This was what a powerhouse was like. If he were to become a martial arts grandmaster, he would be able to shake the world with one hand. 3 against 1. There's no such thing in this world. 1 against 1 is even better. Li Lingtian said calmly. His words stunned the three martial arts grandmasters. Could it be that this kid still wanted to join the battle? However, he understood what happened next. His expression became extremely terrified and he could not help but curse. F***ck, this is cheating. Little bastard, this isn't fair. Damn, this is a 4th tier 4th level multicolored beast, a 4th tier 7th level Jade-Eyed beast. The air trembled as a tall and mighty multicolored beast pounced fiercely at Sun Haoran. Its speed was so fast that it was beyond the sight of a martial artist. The multicolored beast could not fly, so it could only rely on its strength to leap in the air. As the multicolored beast appeared, an even more terrifying aura burst forth. It was a tier 4 level 7 Jade-Eyed beast. It was the most powerful demonic beast that Li Lingtian and Little White had subdued together. The blue-eyed beast was a 4th grade, 7th grade beast that could float in the air. However, it did not stop at this time and attacked Zhao Shihao directly. Instantly, the three martial arts grandmasters were filled with fear. You guys have fun with them. I'll take a rest first. Li Lingtian could feel the overwhelming pressure. He retreated dozens of meters in a flash and watched the three martial arts grandmasters battling the three powerful mystical beasts from afar. He said indifferently with a smile on his face, as if he was watching a show. Seeing this scene, the three martial arts grandmasters felt like dying. How did this kid have such a powerful demonic beast? Any one of them was enough to make them suffer. Now that there were three powerful demonic beasts, even if they escaped, their chances were extremely small. Boom! 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 Explosions continued in the air. Martial arts grandmasters were naturally extremely powerful. Being attacked by three powerful demonic beasts, they were passively beaten up. It was difficult to get off when they encountered such a thing. Little White, the multicolored beast, and the Jade-Eyed beast were instructed by Li Lingtian to play with the three martial arts grandmasters instead of killing them all at once. The three mystical beasts suppressed the three martial arts grandmasters but did not kill them all at once. Sir, stop while you're ahead. Take back your demonic beast and let this matter rest. We'll go our separate ways. Beads of sweat trickled down Sun Haoran's face. Being attacked by the multicolored beast was like being toyed with by the other party. His true essence was being consumed extremely quickly. If the demonic beast continued like this, it would either be killed or exhausted to death. He quickly shouted at Li Lingtian, who was standing far away. He was really helpless. Three martial arts grandmasters had bullied a trashy warrior spirit disciple and now, they were being played like a monkey by this warrior spirit disciple. He dared not voice out his anger. Yes, I am. Let's forget about this matter. It's a misunderstanding. Zhao Shihao and Zhou Wujuan felt even more uncomfortable. Little White's dragon aura and dragon might, as well as the power of a 4th tier, level 7 Jade-Eyed beast, made them suffer. F***ck, is there such a simple thing in this world? Oh, right, it's indeed a misunderstanding. Otherwise, I wouldn't have let them train with you. You have to thank me. I'm still playing for a while. I'm thirsty. You guys continue playing. I'll eat a fruit first. There was a faint smile on Li Lingtian's face. The three mystical beasts had no intention of stopping. Without Li Lingtian's instructions, they would not stop even if they died in battle. After he finished speaking, a spiritual fruit that was full of spiritual energy appeared out of thin air. It was a fist-sized 100-year-old spiritual fruit. It immediately shocked the 3 martial arts grandmasters. However, they were attacked by the 3 demon beasts. They were stunned and suffered a heavy blow. F***CK, who is this person? 3 demonic beasts and a I-0-year-old purple jade fruit. Now that I'm thirsty, I'm actually eating a Lu-year-old spiritual fruit. I'm F***ing going to die. Oh my god, what's going on? When the 3 martial arts grandmasters saw that Li Lingtian had taken the 100-year spiritual fruit to quench his thirst, they were instantly devastated. Thinking about how the 3 of them were being attacked by the demon beasts here while the other party was actually leisurely eating spiritual fruits and watching the show, he was really F***ing speechless. Forget it, it's not fun. Let's see who among the 3 of you will finish them off first. After Li Lingtian finished eating the spirit fruit, he spoke indifferently. The 3 martial arts grandmasters were shocked when they heard his words, but they soon revealed a smile of relief. They had been tortured by the 3 mystical beasts. It was a fate worse than death. Rumble. Chi-chi. Bang. There was an explosion and 3 rays of blood light scattered. There were no screams. 3 Wuzongs died. The first one to be killed was the opponent's Jade-Eyed beast, followed by Little White, and finally the multicolored beast. Go back and cultivate. This is for you. Li Lingtian threw a light projection at the emerald-eyed beast and multicolored beast with one hand. Following that, the multicolored beast and emerald-eyed beast disappeared into the divine dragon ring. Protect me while I collect their storage pouches. Li Lingtian looked at Little White, who had turned into a snow-white rabbit, and said happily. Then, his body flashed and he quickly flew down. After a short moment of cultivation, the weapons and storage pouches of the 6 warrior kings and 3 martial grandmasters were all returned to his hands. After packing up everything, Li Lingtian carried Little White and flew away quickly on his flying sword. He did not want to stay here for long after the great battle. After flying for a full 5 hours, Li Lingtian appeared in a small town when the sky was turning white. He found an inn and checked in. Although he did not fight in the battle, it was still thrilling. After witnessing the situation of a martial arts grandmaster level battle, the desire for strength in his heart had reached the peak. In the inn, Xiao Bai was guarding the room. He slept peacefully and felt extremely energetic. One wondered if there are any good treasures among these trash. That inner armor should still be there. He took out his bag of holding and went through the bags of the martial kings. These 6 martial kings represented their sects in the auction, so they had quite a lot of spirit stones on hand. There were actually more than 16 million spirit stones. There were also some Tier 2 and Tier 3 pills as well as some materials and skills. However, Li Lingtian did not care about these. Although his current cultivation was not high, his taste was very high. Even the items of a martial king were often regarded as trash. In the auction house, he really did have an inner armor of Sun Haoran's. Moreover, it was an inner armor of the supreme grade profound armament level. He wanted to use the inner armor and spirit stones to exchange for the purple jade fruit. Li Lingtian smiled as he opened the storage pouch. There were 21 million spiritual stones, an inner armor, a lot of herbs and some inner cores that were over 500 years old, and a lot of skills. Although they were mystic class, they were still impressive. After half an hour, the inventory was completed. He had killed 6 martial kings and 3 martial grandmasters and obtained 37 million spirit stones, countless medicinal herbs and inner cores, as well as many pills and skills. 3 peerless grade profound level weapons, 7 middle grade profound level weapons and 1 upper grade profound level weapon. More importantly, that inner armor. No wonder. The money from killing and robbing came so quickly. It would be strange if he didn't become a bandit. Li Lingtian looked at the wealth. He had defeated a martial arts grandmaster and martial king in less than 10 minutes and obtained so many spiritual stones and wealth. If this was any other time, he would not have obtained so much wealth. He originally had a net worth of more than 70 million, but he had spent nearly 20 million in the auction house. Now that he had obtained more than 30 million, he had earned more than he had lost. He already had nearly 90 million spiritual stones. Even an ordinary martial emperor might not be able to compare to his wealth. Chapter 80, Meteor Shower, 1. Chapter 80, Meteor Shower, 1. Li threw all these items into the divine dragon ring and finally took out Sun Haren's inner armor. He began to refine it. Wearing such a top-grade profound armament inner armor, his defensive power had increased by a level. Heavenly silkworm armor, refine it for me. The inner armor was extremely soft, like a thin veil. It was hard to imagine that it was a peerless profound level weapon. He cast a spell, and then a wisp of blood essence hit the inner armor. Instantly, the inner armor began to become flexible. Faint fluorescent light flickered on the inner armor. Li Lingtian knew that this fluorescent light was probably the defensive power. The inner armor of a supreme-grade profound armament could be blocked by a martial king when he used a supreme-grade profound armament. Good, it suits me perfectly. 20 minutes later, the heavenly silkworm armor was successfully refined. Li Lingtian removed his long robe and wore the heavenly silkworm armor inside. The heavenly silkworm armor protected his upper body like a thin veil. As the saying went, one had to learn how to be beaten before hitting someone, although he would not be beaten now. However, there were countless super experts in this world. He was only a warrior spirit's disciple. It was inevitable that he would be ambushed during a great battle. With this heavenly silkworm armor, he could at least block a portion of the attacks and not be instantly killed. Following that, Li Lingtian refined all three supreme spiritual weapons. Although they would not be used as life treasures, they could be used during normal times. Under normal circumstances, as long as he did not encounter a martial arts grandmaster, he would not need to use the roaring dragon battle halberd. The azulate sword could still be used to cast the astounding heaven sword technique. At other times, he would also need to use a powerful profound level weapon. Now, he had several powerful skills and treasures in his hands. Generally speaking, he would not be in any danger unless he encountered a heaven-defying martial king or martial arts grandmaster. After resting in the inn for a day, Li Lingtian asked around and found out that this place was tens of thousands of miles away from Sky Dragon Empire's Sky Dragon City. The Sky Dragon City Genius Tournament would be held in 3 months' time. As the representative of Sky Cloud Sect, he could not miss it. After reorganizing for a while, he flew towards Sky Dragon City. After passing by some cities, he would land to rest and shop in the city. The medicinal herbs, spirit weapons, profound level weapons, and skills that he had no use for were all sold. There was no use in keeping them on him. Xianming City was a central city 10,000 miles away from Sky Dragon City. It was also a place where martial artists gathered because Xianming City was close to the sea and not far from the Endless Sea. No matter which era or world it was, the sea area had the most abundant resources. There were countless sea beasts and countless underwater resources in the sea area. The sea area was large and rich in resources. Xianming City was undoubtedly the wealthiest city in Sky Dragon Empire, but it was also the most chaotic city. No matter when, the competition for resources was always the most intense. In Xianming City, the most powerful sects were Heavenly Enlightenment Sect and Sea Sand Sect. There was also the Proclamation Alliance, which dealt in the inner cores of demon beasts and sea beast materials. This alliance was also the existence where all the itinerant cultivators joined forces to resist the Sea Sand Sect and the Heavenly Light Sect. No one could let the Heavenly Light Sect and the Sea Sand Sect dominate. Martial artists needed cultivation resources. If they did not join forces, they would not be able to survive at all. On this day, Li Lingtian was flying on his flying sword. Feeling the damp air, he looked down and saw an endless sea. There was also a large city by the sea. His body flashed, and he kept his flying sword. He found a remote place to land and finally walked towards the city gate. After flying for a few days, he was a little tired. However, there were still more than 2 months before the Sky Dragon Empire Genius competition. There was no need to rush to Sky Dragon City. Moreover, with his speed, it would only take him 10 days to reach Sky Dragon City. Sir, you need to pay 100 low-grade spirit stones to enter Xianming City. Li Lingtian was stopped by a Tier 3 warrior spirit when he arrived at the city gate. This is the rule of Xianming City. It's your first time here, so you naturally don't know the situation and rules here. Seeing the doubt on Li Lingtian's face, the patrolman explained politely. After all, those who came here were customers and they had to pay 100 lower spiritual stones to enter the city gate. Here, this is for you. Li Lingtian did not say a word but handed over 100 lower spiritual stones. Other cities would require an entrance fee, but this place had many rules despite its small size. His wealth was something that even martial grandmasters and martial emperors could not compare to. Naturally, he would not care about such a small amount of spirit stones. After entering Xianming City, he began to stroll around the city. This was his habit. When he came to an unfamiliar place, he had to first understand that place, at least some places. An hour later, he inquired about the basic situation of Xianming City in a restaurant and then found an inn to settle down. However, generally speaking, they lived in a single courtyard. Although the price was much higher than a single room, it was more convenient for them to cultivate and no one would spy on them. With Little White's protection, he just needed to create a restriction. In the room, Li Lingtian practiced all the skills and cultivation techniques. He was not dissatisfied with his cultivation speed. In just over a year's time, he had advanced from a warrior apprentice to a Tier 8 warrior spirit. This speed was unmatched even in the entire Eastern Spirit Azure continent. This was also because he had transmigrated. If he was a disciple of the Divine Martial Continent, no matter how talented he was, he would only be outstanding. However, he, a warrior spirit, could kill a martial king. He had even killed a martial arts grandmaster before. Now, many of his skills were slowly being eliminated. In the eyes of others, his skills were heaven-defying existences, but in his eyes, they were useless. Because his opponents were getting stronger and stronger, some low-level skills were naturally useless. The Heaven Astounding Sword technique and the Flaming Divine Fist could be used against ordinary warrior spirits or even warrior kings, but against martial grandmasters, they were courting death. However, his current skills were powerful, and there were quite a few mystic and earth-rank skills. Moreover, the Ice Vitality Divine Fist and the Heaven-Shattering Earth-Shattering were not simple. Their power was terrifying and suitable for large-scale attacks. With the increase in his cultivation, his skills had also increased, making him even more terrifying. He also had quite a few earth-rank skills. Heaven and Earth Conflagration, Heaven Flipping Seal, and Dominating Heaven Fist. He had mastered quite a few of these 3 earth-rank skills and had already reached the level of great success. Meteor Shower, Advanced Earth-rank Skill. Li Lingtian took out the skill he had obtained from the auction house. He had exchanged it for the 10 Millennium Purple Jade Fruit. It was only because the warrior ascendant did not match the attributes of this skill that he would have taken it out. Moreover, the Purple Jade Fruit was heaven-defying. Martial arts grandmaster experts were naturally willing to use this high-level earth-grade skill to exchange for it. None of the earth-rank skills were easy to cultivate and comprehend. He could learn the yellow rank skills as soon as he learned them, and it was the same for the mystic rank skills. Moreover, he could cultivate them to the extreme. However, earth-grade skills were all extremely profound existences. He had used a long time to master the Heaven and Earth Conflagration, the Dominating Heaven Fist, and the Heaven Flipping Seal. The higher the level of the skill, the more difficult it was to control. This Earth-level Meteor Shower was even more difficult. In the divine martial continent, not only were skills and cultivation techniques rare, but there was also a serious problem. Skills required a corresponding cultivation base to be able to be used. Usually, it would take a few years to comprehend and cultivate a mystic or earth-ranked skill. However, Li Lingtian only took a few days to master it. Chapter 81, News of the Infant Carp Beast. Chapter 81, News of the Infant Carp Beast. A yellow tier skill required a warrior's cultivation base, and many warrior spirit powerhouses were still cultivating yellow tier skills and techniques. Only warrior spirits could control a mystic level skill cultivation method. There were also a few geniuses who could control mystic level skills when they were still warriors. As for earth rank skills, only martial kings could use them. Moreover, earth rank skills were all the treasures of a sect. Not to mention martial kings, even martial grandmasters did not necessarily have earth rank skills to cultivate. Earth rank skills were only cultivated by a very small number of martial kings and martial grandmasters. They were priceless. For example, Li Lingtian's warrior spirit possessed a few earth rank skills. It was already heaven-defying among heaven-defying skills. Furthermore, he had mastered a few earth rank skills. This skill is useful to me. He looked at the jade slip and sent his divine sense into it. He was shocked by the description of the skill in the jade slip. Meteor shower was a large-scale attack. After cultivating it to the extreme, it was no different from the 1,000 miles of ice. With a single attack, a rain of fire instantly filled the sky within 1,000 miles. The power was shocking, and no martial artist of the same cultivation level could stop it. If one confused the meteor shower with the heaven and earth annihilation, Li Lingtian was extremely excited when he thought of the heaven and earth conflagration, which was also an earth tier skill. If he could combine these two skills, one focused on the ground and the other focused on the air, the power would surely be earth-shattering. Gradually, his entire being was immersed in his comprehension. An earth-tier advanced skill was the most powerful existence in Eastern Spirit Azure continent. Even in some large clans and super sects, only martial ancestor-level elders had earth-tier skills to cultivate. Time passed day by day. Li Lingtian stayed in the room for 5 days. During these 5 days, he was constantly comprehending the meteor shower. On this day, Li Lingtian opened his eyes. His expression was calm and emotionless. There was no change in his expression at all. Meteor shower is not something that one can cast. A high-level earth rank can only be controlled by a martial king. Li Lingtian muttered to himself. He had finally figured it out over the past few days, but he could not unleash it. Even if he were to forcefully unleash it, its power would be greatly reduced. The power it displayed was not even as strong as a high-level mystic skill. Instead of that, it would be better to use a low or intermediate-level earth skill. He was a smart person. Although he wanted to increase his strength, he understood that he could not bite off more than he could chew. Since he couldn't cultivate the advanced earth-level meteor shower, he would give up for now and cultivate it when he reached the martial king realm. Moreover, he already had a few powerful skills now. Coupled with the power of a supreme-grade profound armament, ordinary martial kings were not his match at all. After tidying up a little, he left the inn and walked towards the main street. Xianming City mainly traded sea resources, but there were all kinds of inner core materials here. Since he had come to this place, he would not miss it easily. He had spirit stones. If he found good materials, he could also accept them. Lin and Hall. The largest trading shops in Xianming City included materials, medicinal herbs, pills, weapons, skills, and various items needed by martial artists. The first thing Li Lingtian did when he arrived was to get to know the major forces here so that he would not get into unnecessary trouble. Sir, welcome to Lin and Hall. Lin and Hall is one of the most complete shops in Xianming City. As soon as he arrived at Lin and Hall's entrance, a young man in his 20s greeted him with a polite expression. He introduced Lin and Hall's strength to Li Lingtian as he welcomed him in skillfully. Most complete. Do you have a grade 5 Naiden? Li Lingtian stood in front of the coffee table and looked at the waiter with a smile in his eyes. It was as if he was teasing the young waiter. Didn't they say that Lin and Hall had the most complete set of items? If he were to randomly mention one, it would be self-defeating if he did not have any. After he finished speaking, the young shop assistant's expression changed. Tier 5 Infant Carp Beast Inner Core, wasn't this tearing down the stage? 5th rank demonic beasts were equivalent to the existence of a martial emperor. Even a martial emperor would not dare to provoke a 5th rank demonic beast easily. Moreover, this infant carp beast was one of the strongest demonic beasts among the 5th rank demonic beasts. More importantly, a Tier 5 infant carp beast was considered extremely rare among Tier 5 beasts. Wanting to find an infant carp beast was even more difficult than killing it. This, you must be joking. A 5th grade infant carp beast is extremely rare. Not to mention an inner core, even finding one is as difficult as ascending to the heavens, unless. The expression on the young shop assistant's face was unsightly. The youth in front of him was only about 15 or 16 years old, yet he was asking for a 5th tier infant carp beast's inner core. Wasn't this a joke? Even if he had a Tier 5 inner core, it was useless for him to take it. However, he recalled that a few days ago, he had unintentionally received news of the infant carp beast. However, no one dared to kill the infant carp beast, and it just so happened to be a grade 5 infant carp beast. At this point, he knew that it was inappropriate, so he quickly shut up and did not continue to speak, lest he let it slip again. Unless what? Naturally, Li Lingtian had heard everything clearly. The young man must have some information on the infant carp beast's whereabouts. Although he wanted to obtain the infant carp beast's inner core, he did not have the strength to kill it now. Nonetheless, it was good that he had information. It would not be too late to kill it when he became stronger in the future. After killing 3 martial arts grandmasters a while ago, he actually obtained a pill formula from their storage bags. Tier 4 Pill Formula, Heavenly Fey Pill. This pill formula was not of much use to him, but it had heaven-defying benefits for demon beasts. Demon beasts usually breathed out the spiritual energy of heaven and earth to cultivate, and it was as difficult as ascending to the heavens to advance. However, there were also many powerful and heaven-defying demon beasts. After reaching the 7th rank, they would transform into human form and learn how to refine pills and cultivate from humans. However, it was extremely difficult to reach the 7th rank. Similarly, in order to increase the cultivation of their pets and combat partners, humans had also developed pill formulas. They relied on powerful pills to increase the cultivation of demon beasts. This 4th grade Heavenly Yao pill was the best one to increase the cultivation of demon beasts. Although it was only 4th grade, as long as the materials and alchemy skills improved, the quality and grade of this medicinal pill could also increase, turning the rotten into the miraculous. When he got the pill formula, he was excited. Whitey, the multicolored beast, and the Jade-Eyed beast had consumed human pills, and their cultivation speed had increased a lot. However, the power of human pills was still too small, and there was not much effect at all. If he could refine a 4th grade heavenly monster pill, Little White, the multicolored beast, and the Jade-Eyed beast would be able to quickly increase their cultivation levels. The prerequisite was to find the inner core of a demon beast as the material. The infant carp beast was one of them. However, the 4th grade heavenly demon pill did not require the inner core of a 5th grade infant carp beast. All he needed was a Tier 3 infant carp beast's inner core. The inner core was only one of the main ingredients. The rest of the ingredients were already stored in Li Lingtian's divine dragon ring. Now, the only thing he needed was the Naiden of the infant carp beast. As long as he had the Naiden of a Tier 3 infant carp beast, he could start refining Tier 4 Heavenly Yao pills. Moreover, after a period of time, it would be time to refine Tier 3 Void Spirit pills. He was already a Tier 8 warrior spirit, so there was no obvious effect when he used a Tier 2 spirit binding pill. A Tier 2 spirit binding pill was also of peerless quality, which was why he was able to refine it. Chapter 82, The Old Man in Black. Chapter 82, The Old Man in Black. He came to Lin and Hall to ask for the inner core of a 5th-tier infant carp beast and was just joking. But if there really was this inner core, he would buy it. He did not expect to really encounter news of the infant carp beast. Such luck was indeed rare. Sir, to be honest, some time ago, I heard that the Square issued a mission to collect the inner core of a 5th-grade infant carp beast. Moreover, the person who issued this news even told me the location of the infant carp beast. There are already many people heading there. The person who issued the mission offered 10 million low-grade spirit stones for a Tier 5 infant carp beast's inner core. Countless people accepted the mission. Although a Tier 5 demonic beast is powerful, there are still countless martial king and martial spirit disciples who went. I even heard that there were martial grandmasters who went. The young shop assistant revealed the news of the infant carp beast. This was also an open secret, so there was nothing to hide. Moreover, they would know once they went to the Square. It was just that this youth was still too young. He could not see his cultivation clearly. At most, he was a warrior spirit. If a warrior spirit youth went, he would only be courting death. I understand. This is for you. Li Lingtian stood up. Since there was such a piece of news in the plaza, it was only natural for him to step in if possible. After saying that, he threw a storage bag at the young shop assistant. He didn't want others to take advantage of him, but he wouldn't easily take advantage of others unless it was a huge benefit. He didn't want to take such a small advantage. Thank you, sir. The young shop assistant was taken aback. He bowed respectfully and thanked Li Lingtian as he watched Li Lingtian walk out. He scanned his storage pouch with his divine perception and found 100 spiritual stones. For a warrior like him, 100 spiritual stones was already a lot. However, he suddenly thought of something and was hesitant to speak. It was only when he saw Li Lingtian about to walk out of Lin and Hall that he called out to Li Lingtian. Sir, if you want to hunt infant carp beasts, it's best to form a team. Moreover, without an expert who is familiar with the sea area to lead the way, you won't be able to find the infant carp beasts at all. Li Lingtian stopped and turned to look at the young waiter. Are you familiar with the sea? There are also people from Lin and Hall who want to go to the sea area, but they are not strong enough. After waiting for a few days, they gathered a few good masters and planned to go to the sea area tomorrow. When the young waiter saw Li Lingtian turn around, he told him all the information as a form of repayment for Li Lingtian's tip. Oh. Li Lingtian nodded and appeared to be deep in thought. He was puzzled. When he was searching for the infant carp beast's inner core, someone had issued a mission for it. Could it be that the infant carp beast's inner core was so popular? Sir, you are also going. I can introduce you to the martial uncles above. When the time comes, you can also go with them. The young man looked at Li Lingtian. If Li Lingtian joined the team, he would be able to get a lot of tips. Tomorrow, right? Count me in. 1 foot 11 inches be here on time tomorrow morning. Li Lingtian's face cracked into a smile. Since he had nothing to do, it was not a bad idea for him to go out and broaden his horizons. Since there was someone to team up with, why not? Lin and Hall even invited a warrior spirit disciple like him. He believed that they did not have many powerful experts. They would definitely use people like him as cannon fodder. After he finished speaking, he turned around and left Lin and Hall, leaving the young waiter with a dull face. He immediately reacted and walked towards the small door behind with a happy smile on his face. The young waiter passed through a few corridors and finally arrived at a courtyard. Disciple Xiao Tian requests an audience with Elder. The young waiter, Xiao Tian, shouted at a room in the courtyard with a respectful expression. What is it? After a long time, a faint voice sounded. The voice was impatient, and it made Xiao Tian feel a chill outside. His face showed fear. "I've found a warrior who's going to kill the infant carp beast. I'll go with you tomorrow morning." Xiao Tian told him about Li Lingtian. He knew that if the elder was not interested in something, he would be dead for sure. "You may leave." A faint voice rang out, and then the room was completely silent. Xiao Tian quickly left the courtyard. He left faster than he came, as if he wished he had 2 more legs. After leaving the courtyard, he felt a trace of relief. After this elder came to the linen hall, he did not have any good days. One didn't expect someone to come knocking on my door. 7 people are enough." In a room in the courtyard, a black-robed elder opened his eyes in a cloud of pitch-black fog. His eyes were blood-red, as if he was about to devour someone. There was no spiritual energy in his entire body. On the contrary, it was filled with terrifying black qi. He was a martial arts grandmaster. Li Lingtian left Lin and Hall and strolled around Xianming City. He collected some sea maps and some daily necessities. He had never entered the sea area before. Although he could fly on a magic tool with his cultivation, he couldn't fly all the time in the vast sea area. Moreover, he always felt uncomfortable in the sea area. He had to prepare in advance to be safe. After strolling on the streets for half a day, he returned to the inn to meditate and rest. He reviewed all kinds of cultivation techniques and skills. On the path of martial arts, it was like sailing a boat against the current. If he did not advance, he would retreat. The next day, Li Lingtian opened the door and walked out of the inn in high spirits with a faint smile on his face. In the backyard of Linen Hall, 6 martial artists were already waiting outside. They had been here for more than an hour, but there was no impatience on their faces. Creak. With a soft sound, the door of the room opened. The 6 cultivators looked towards the room in front of them. Their faces immediately revealed respectful expressions, but they were even more worried. A huge aura rushed over. It was the aura of a martial arts grandmaster. An old man in his 50s walked out of the room. The old man was dressed in black from head to toe, leaving only a pair of eyes and white hair outside. Junior greets senior. The 6 warriors bowed respectfully. Warrior spirits and martial kings were worlds apart from martial grandmasters, so how could they be disrespectful? What about the other one? The black-robed old man's sharp gaze swept across the 6 martial artists. Then, his gaze turned vicious. One person was actually missing. He was a dignified martial arts grandmaster, yet someone dared to make him wait. "Senior, the 6 of us have been here the entire time." Lian asked in puzzlement. These few days, only the 6 of them had been here. There was no one else. Could it be that someone had gone to kill the infant carp beast? If it was for the spirit stones, they would not want to cooperate with this terrifying old man. The sea area was filled with dangers. If they were not careful, they would not be able to survive. I'll wait another half an hour." The black-robed old man coldly harumphed. He then closed his eyes and stood there, his aura disappearing. If he hadn't seen this old man with his own eyes, he wouldn't have believed that there was a person in front of him. To be able to hide his aura, this kind of terrifying cultivation made several martial artists extremely afraid. Chapter 83, Terrifying Flames. Chapter 83, Terrifying Flames. Li Lingtian arrived at Lin and Hall's shop unhurriedly. When he arrived, the young shop assistant was already waiting for him. "Sir, you're finally here. If you wait any longer, the elders will leave. Hurry up and go in," the young shop assistant said anxiously. Although he was not urged by the black-robed old man just now, he clearly felt the elder's anger. If the elder was angry, no one would dare to accept the elder's anger. "Lead the way." Li Lingtian had a faint smile on his face the entire time. He followed the young shop assistant to the small door at the back of the shop. After passing through a few corridors, they arrived at a courtyard. What a strange aura. Li Lingtian had sensed a mysterious aura the moment he entered the shop. He had never seen or heard of such an aura before. However, he was sure that this aura was a cultivation technique that humans cultivated. He also knew that if it was not for the dragon energy, he would not be able to sense this aura at all. The deeper they went, the clearer the aura became. When they arrived at the courtyard, they finally realized that the aura came from an old man in black. Elder, this gentleman has arrived. The young waiter was panicking as he led Li Lingtian into the courtyard. He looked straight at the old man without even looking at him. With the old man's wave of his hand, the young shop assistant hurriedly retreated. He was eager to teleport away from this courtyard. Junior greets senior. Li Lingtian shifted his gaze from the 6 warriors in the courtyard to the old man. Among the 6 warriors, 4 were warrior kings and 2 were tier 9 peak warrior spirits. The black-robed old man's cultivation was indeed a martial arts grandmaster, but the feeling he gave off was somewhat terrifying. This was the first time he had encountered such a feeling. Okay, you guys get to know each other. The black-robed elder's eyes darted over to Li Lingtian as he concealed the anger in his heart. This warrior spirit disciple was only a tier 8-5 spirit, yet he was the last to arrive. He would be in for it when the time came. Following that, Li Lingtian greeted the other 6 warriors. Among the 6 warriors, 2 warrior spirits greeted Qin Hao and Qin Zhong respectively. The 2 of them were polite when Li Lingtian greeted them. In this group, only the 2 brothers were at the warrior spirit realm. The other martial kings looked down on them. There were 4 martial kings. One of them was called Xian Shifeng, a rank 7 martial king. The other was Luo Qihan, a rank 6 martial king. The other 2 were called Shengguan Chang and Gong Sun Lang. They were both rank 4 martial kings. After getting to know each other for a while, the strong reigned supreme. The few warrior kings did not even look at Li Lingtian, the warrior spirit, but Li Lingtian greeted them politely. Alright, let's go first, in case we're late. The black-robed old man was called Wind Void. He didn't know anything else about him. After seeing the few of them greeting each other, Wind Void said indifferently and then walked towards the door of the backyard. Li Lingtian and the rest could only follow behind. After they left the house, a huge beast cart was waiting outside. Beast carriages were the most commonly seen in the divine martial continent. They were no different from the carriages in his previous life. However, this carriage was pulled by a demonic beast, which was much stronger than the carriages in his previous life. Li Lingtian finally got to see the space inside the beast carriage. It was at least 10 square meters in size and it did not feel cramped at all when 8 people sat inside. No one spoke on the beast carriage. Li Lingtian could only meditate and rest. He did not like talking to strangers and this was exactly what he wanted. The beast carriage was blocked by a layer of mysterious gauze, and divine senses couldn't enter or exit. They couldn't see the outside world, and the outside world couldn't see the situation inside the beast carriage. However, based on his feeling, the beast carriage should have left the city. Moreover, the beast carriage was extremely fast as it sped along the way. Hiss! The demonic beast pulling the carriage screeched and came to a sudden stop. Li Lingtian and the others were also jolted awake. Alright, get out of the car. The black-clad elder's voice rang out before he stepped down from the beast carriage. Li Lingtian and the rest followed suit and felt a damp aura the moment they stepped out of the beast carriage. The seaside was a boundless sea area, but it was far away from the entrance of Hidden Dragon Island. Elder, one will send you all here. This subordinate will take his leave first. It was only then that Li Lingtian realized that the driver was a middle-aged tier 7 warrior. He was respectful when he saw the elder in black. You don't have to go back. The black-robed old man, Wind Void, glanced at the middle-aged man indifferently and said coldly. Suddenly, a shocking aura erupted from his entire body, and a black flame pressed down on the middle-aged man. Instantly, everyone was stunned. They didn't expect Wind Void to be so vicious, even treating his own subordinates like this. The martial artist could not withstand the power of a martial arts grandmaster at all. Under the attack, there was not the slightest scream. The middle-aged martial artist turned into blood and was completely destroyed by the flames. The beast carriage and the demonic beasts were all turned into ashes by the black flames. This move shocked everyone, especially the Martial King realm experts. They finally understood the difference between realms. Such terrifying flames. They're not inferior to the flames of my fire dragon's heart. Li Lingtian was shocked. He was a flaming sacred body and naturally understood the power of flames. This was the first time he had seen such a flame and he had no idea what it was called. He gradually grew wary of Wind Void. Unless it was absolutely necessary, it was best not to go against Wind Void. The few martial kings and martial spirits felt a chill down their spines when they saw how even their own subordinates were mercilessly killed. This subordinate was just unlucky, yet he had found a way to kill them mercilessly. They were not related to each other, and there would be disputes over the treasure. It was likely that when the treasure appeared, they would fall out. Li Lingtian was well aware of the situation but he did not say it out loud. He maintained a calm expression on his face. We can't let anyone know about this. You guys keep your mouths shut. We're going to the Devil Sea now. Wind Void saw the changes in their expressions, but he didn't take it to heart at all. After saying that, he took out an exquisite flying ship and cast a spell on it. Instantly, the flying ship expanded and became a huge flying ship. The spaceship was 50 meters long and 10 meters wide. There were also a few rooms on the spaceship. Li Lingtian was shocked to see all of this. Some time ago, when he went to the Endless Sea Dragon Hidden Island, he saw countless people using flying ships. Sky Cloud's sect also had a huge flying ship, but compared to this flying ship, those flying ships were like clouds and earth. Swoosh! Wind Void's body disappeared in a strange manner. When he reappeared, he was already on the flying ship in the sky. The other martial kings and martial spirits also quickly flew up. Since they were already on this pirate ship, they could only wait and see. After boarding the spaceship, Li Lingtian found a room. Although the room was small, it was exquisitely decorated. It was 20 square meters in size, with a wooden bed, a leather sofa, and some daily necessities. Everything was present. Chapter 84, 10,000 Destruction Formation. Chapter 84, 10,000 Destruction Formation. Open. After entering the room, Li Lingtian scanned his surroundings with his divine perception but did not find any surveillance. He then activated a simple restriction and Little White stood guard at the door. With a Tier 4 Little White guarding the door, he would not be in much danger as long as it was not a Tier 7 or Tier 8 warrior ascendant. Even if there was danger, Little White would be able to resist for a while. He was also prepared to fight back, so he wouldn't be caught unprepared. This Wind Void isn't simple. Be careful. Kill anyone with killing intent. Li Lingtian looked at Whitey. At this moment, the situation was unclear but Wind Void was a martial arts grandmaster powerhouse and he could not be underestimated. More importantly, with his divine sense and experience from 2 lifetimes, Wind Void posed a huge threat to him. Phew. Little White nodded as its ruby-like eyes emitted a sharp glow. It had a friendly contract with Li Lingtian. If Li Lingtian was in danger, it would be hurt as well. Moreover, it had been following Li Lingtian since it was born. Its relationship with Li Lingtian was like a brother. In addition to the friendly contract, the connection between them was deeper than blood relations. At this time, it naturally understood the current situation. The dragon race was born to be the ancestor of all beasts and demons. Their dragon aura was shocking, and their perception of danger was relatively agile. It had yet to reach Tier 7 and could not transform into a human form. Naturally, it could not speak but it was able to achieve mind unity with Li Lingtian. Heaven and Earth Reincarnation. Heaven Flipping Seal. Heaven and Earth Burning. The heavens and earth will shatter. Dominating Heaven Fist. Ice Vitality Divine Fist. He continued to comprehend and study all kinds of skills and cultivation techniques, constantly improving them. He could not practice all kinds of skills, but he had a clearer understanding of the power and principles of these skills. After he entered the room, he didn't leave. Little White also took 2 elixirs every day. The rest of the time, it would set up the air in the room. As long as there was an external aura, he would be the first to know. Days passed and Li Lingtian stayed in the room for 8 days. On this day, Whitey, who looked lazy, had a sharp glint in its ruby-like eyes. Its eyes were filled with killing intent as it stared at the wooden door quietly. At the same time, he sent a consciousness into Li Lingtian's awareness. Li Lingtian knew that someone had arrived. At other times, if a cultivator's sea of consciousness was disturbed while cultivating, their cultivation would decline at the very least, and they would become an idiot at the very worst. However, since Little White and Li Lingtian had a friendly contract, there was naturally no effect between them. Furthermore, Li Lingtian had lived 2 lives. Coupled with the 9 Yang Saint Lord and the original Li Lingtian's soul, his soul was extremely powerful. It did not affect him at all. Ding ding, ding ding. The sound of the wooden door tinkling sounded like a knock on the door. It was impossible to knock on the door in a place with restrictions. This sound was good. At least it was not a hasty entry. Li Lingtian's expression was calm. With a wave of his hand, the restriction disappeared and the wooden door opened. Brother Li, we've arrived. Qin Zhong, who appeared in Li Lingtian's line of sight, was the only warrior spirit here. Li Lingtian was also a warrior spirit, so naturally, they walked in harmony. The other martial kings weren't even close to them, let alone the terrifying martial arts grandmaster Wind Void. So it's Brother Qin. I'll go now. Li Lingtian smiled politely before he stood up. Qin Zhong understood Li Lingtian's intention and left after a brief salute. Li Lingtian was lost in thought as he watched Qin Zhong leave. After a full 10 minutes, Li Lingtian left the room with Little White in his arms. After leaving the room, he immediately felt a damp air and a faint smell of seawater. Furthermore, the endless sea breeze continued to ravage the ship. Although the ship had defenses, the strength of the sea breeze was unimaginable. When he came out, the others were already standing outside the spaceship. The 7 of them looked into the distance without saying a word. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo. Coo, coo. Li Lingtian was shocked by the tearing sea breeze and the shocking waves. This was the might of the heavens. The force of nature in the sea was not something that ordinary warriors and mortals could withstand. In his previous life, he had never been to the sea. In the books, he had only read about the tolerance and power of the sea. However, after seeing it for himself, he understood that the sea in his previous life was like a small stream compared to the vast ocean. Disciple greets senior and everyone. Li Lingtian greeted them after watching for a while. The scene before his eyes was shocking. After he finished speaking, the 4 martial kings and Wind Void glanced over. Martial kings were trash in his eyes, but the gaze of Manager Wu, Wind Void, was incomparably sharp. There's still 1 more day before we reach the Devil Sea. I'll give you a set of formations now. If you encounter a 5th step infant carp beast, you can use this formation to deal with it. If you face a powerful enemy, you can also use this formation to block them. Wind Void looked at Li Lingtian and did not even take a Tier 8 warrior spirit disciple seriously. He was like an ant on the roadside. However, at this time, he had to use this ant as cannon fodder. Junior and the others will not disappoint Senior. The 7 of them replied respectfully. In a world where the strong were respected, they could only be respectful when facing the strong. Even though Li Lingtian was a little conflicted, he was able to control the situation. This formation is called the formation of 10,000 extinguishers. It's cast with one's own jinchi. There can't be any mistakes. If anything goes wrong, you'll have to bear the consequences. Wind Void said indifferently. His tone was extremely vicious, making the 7 martial artists feel even more threatened. Following that, Li Lingtian and the others began to meditate on the formation of infinite destruction while Wind Void meditated in front of the spaceship. Devil Sea. Li Lingtian was extremely puzzled. Devil Sea was probably a small place in the endless sea, and it was a terrifying place. The flying ship continued to fly at high speed. If it encountered a small storm, it would pass through it. If there was a big storm, it would fly around the storm. During this day, it was so infuriating that it kept practicing the 10,000 destruction formation. Other warriors might not be able to see anything from the formation of 10,000 extinguishers, but Li Lingtian was afraid. This formation was at least at the Imperial level, and it was a vicious one at that. A few days ago, Wind Void didn't take out this formation. He only took it out when he reached his destination. There must be something fishy about it. The formation of 10,000 extinguishing was completely different from a normal formation. Li Lingtian could not pinpoint what was different at the moment because each of the 7 of them had cast a part of the formation. Until now, they had not fully unleashed it. This was also Wind Void's idea. Before encountering infant carp beasts or danger, he couldn't use this 10,000 extinguishing formation without his permission. Chapter 85, Infant Carp Beast, Appearance. Chapter 85, Infant Carp Beast, Appearance. In the sky above the sea, there were spaceships flying in the same direction. Li Lingtian felt that something was amiss with the situation. Although it was a Tier 5 Infant Carp Beast mission, even a fool would realize that it was not a simple matter when so many powerhouses went to the same place. A day passed, and the flying ship passed through thick fog. There was no storm in the sky above the sea, and the entire sea was calm. It was as if they had reached the edge of the sea. "All right, let's go down." The next day, Wind Void's voice rang out. The flying ship slowed down and finally landed on an island. Li Lingtian and the rest alighted from the spaceship as they surveyed the area. There were warrior spirits and martial kings everywhere, and there were even quite a few martial arts grandmaster powerhouses. Wind Void kept the spaceship and led Li Lingtian and the others into the distance. Li Lingtian observed them as he walked. There were at least 500 warrior spirits, 500 warrior kings, and at least 30 martial arts grandmasters on this island that was 100 miles in circumference. The group stopped at a quiet place and waited for the top to appear. This infant carp beast only appears once at the designated time. The last time it appeared was 13 days ago. There are still 2 days before it appears again. A Tier 5 infant carp beast is too terrifying. Moreover, there are more than 10 Tier 3 and Tier 4 existences beside the Tier 5 infant carp beast. This will be even more troublesome. The last time it appeared, only a few people knew about it. There weren't many experts either, so no one dared to make a move. Look at how many experts there are now. Naturally, they can easily kill the infant carp beast. Let's rest. After the infant carp beast appears in 2 days, even if we can't defeat it, we'll still have the energy to escape. There were discussions everywhere. According to these people, this infant carp beast should have appeared twice, and no one dared to make a move twice. It would appear once every half a month, and the next time would be the day after tomorrow. In this case, he had to recuperate. Wind Void's danger was no longer a concern in such a place. Facing so many warrior spirits, martial kings, and martial grandmasters, every single one of them would be a threat to him. The infant carp beast will appear in 2 more days. We have to be prepared now. A Tier 5 martial arts grandmaster middle-aged man said loudly. In this place, the cultivation of a Tier 5 martial arts grandmaster was considered very powerful. That's right, Your Excellency Yang Ping is right. 3rd or 4th grade infant carp beasts are not a problem. The main problem is 5th grade infant carp beasts. If we are not prepared, no matter how many of us there are, we will only be devoured and killed. Murong Chodi also catered to Yang Ping's wishes. The level 5 Niden of the infant carp beast was a mission worth 10 million spirit stones. Moreover, the materials of the infant carp beast were extremely precious. Any one of them was priceless. If everyone fought for the infant carp beast, only a few people would benefit. Even if everyone understood this principle, they had to work together before killing the infant carp beast. Otherwise, let alone killing the infant carp beast, even escaping would be a dream. Brother Yang and Brother Murong are right. Since everyone is here, we should join hands to kill the infant carp beast first. After killing the infant carp beast, we can distribute the materials and treasures according to our abilities. One of the martial arts grandmasters spoke up. Immediately, the other martial arts grandmasters responded. This was a big bone that required everyone to work together to take it down. All of a sudden, all the warrior spirits, martial kings, and martial grandmasters began to prepare. Warrior spirit disciples were in a group of 20, martial king experts were in a group of 10, and martial arts grandmasters were in a group of 5. The warrior spirit team and the warrior king team had joined forces to kill a tier 3 infant carp beast, while the warrior king team and the martial arts grandmaster team had joined forces to kill a tier 4 infant carp beast. However, there were only 2 martial arts grandmaster teams that had killed a tier 4 infant carp beast. The other martial arts grandmasters were all working together to deal with the tier 5 infant carp beast. There were a total of 47 martial arts grandmasters who were dealing with the tier 5 infant carp beast. In other words, there were currently 57 martial arts grandmasters here. Even though Wind Void and Yang Ping couldn't see Wind Void's cultivation clearly, they still felt a trace of fear towards this black-robed elder. After the arrangements were made, the island was quiet. With so many experts gathered, if it was any other time, there would definitely be disputes and fights. However, now, no one dared to act rashly. This is for you. Don't die for me. As long as you don't provoke a tier 5 infant carp beast, I can save your lives. After using this life talisman, don't make a move. Wind Void stared coldly at Yang Ping and the others. He had not expected them to ruin his plan. After gathering Li Lingtian and the others, he gave them a stern order before handing a black jade talisman to them. A hint of reluctance flashed across his eyes. Everyone knew that jade talismans were either defensive, offensive, or some mysterious secret techniques. These jade talismans were all extremely powerful. After putting away the jade talisman, Li Lingtian and the others found a place to meditate and rest. Wind Void's divine consciousness had been locked onto Li Lingtian and the others intentionally or unintentionally. It was clear that Wind Void was worried that they would escape. Little White was sleeping in Li Lingtian's arms with its eyes closed. When everyone saw Little White in Li Lingtian's arms, they looked at it with disdain. A warrior holding a pet, a trash pet without any cultivation, was that not a joke? Time passed by very quickly. 2 days passed by quietly. On the afternoon of the 3rd day, a shocking wave suddenly erupted in the originally calm sea. Li Lingtian and the others stood on the 100-meter-tall boulder and watched the waves on the sea. They were all shocked. Waves came from the sky, crashing into the huge rocks. The entire island was shaking. This was the power of nature. Get ready, the infant carp beast is about to appear. Some people who had seen the situation before the infant carp beast appeared shouted loudly. Immediately, everyone gathered in their teams and began to prepare to attack or defend. A wave disappeared, and the sky and sea fell silent. After 5 minutes, another shocking wave came from the sky. The source of the waves is 100 miles away. It's already beyond the range of my divine sense. The level 5 infant carp beast is indeed powerful, to actually be able to stir up this sea area. Li Lingtian was shocked. This was the first time he had seen such waves. He believed that the tides of the Qiantang River in his previous life were nothing compared to this. The Tier 5 infant carp beast had yet to appear, and it could already stir up such a huge commotion in the sea area. One could imagine the power of the Tier 5 infant carp beast. Rumble. With an earth-shattering explosion, wave after wave of waves crashed into the island. It was as if the island was about to sink. At this moment, a tall and shocking black shadow appeared in the sky. The black shadow was like a huge mountain rushing over. At first, he was still 100 miles away, but in the blink of an eye, he was already 50 miles away from the island. His speed was beyond Li Lingtian's imagination. Such a large demonic beast should be very slow, but he did not expect this behemoth to be as agile as a giant bird in the sky. Infant carp beast, the infant carp beast has appeared. It was unknown who cried out in alarm, but everyone was instantly thrown into chaos. Actually, even if he didn't cry out in alarm, everyone would have seen the infant carp beast. In front of this shocking black shadow, there were more than 10 small black shadows. Even the small ones were at least 10 meters tall and 30 meters long. In the beginning, it was only drowned by the shocking waves. Everyone's eyes were focused on the largest black shadow, ignoring the smaller black shadows. F*CK, what kind of demonic beast is this? It's like a mountain. One don't think the terrifying monsters mentioned in the classic of mountains and seas are anything special. Looking at the shocking black shadow, this was the infant carp beast, a 5th grade infant carp beast. The 5th grade infant carp beast was 100 meters tall and 300 meters long. Its 2 lantern-sized eyes emitted a terrifying light. Its smooth body was like a mirror. This demon beast was no different from the whale in his previous life, except that it was countless times larger than the whale. Its entire body emitted a shocking demonic power. Chapter 86, Chapter 86, Life and Death, Escape. Chapter 86, Life and Death, Escape. 1 Tier 5 infant carp beast, 6 Tier 4 infant carp beasts, and 9 Tier 3 infant carp beasts. With such a lineup, the demonic energy pressure suppressed countless warrior spirits and martial kings, causing them to spit out a mouthful of blood. The expression on Li Lingtian's face changed drastically. Although he did not spurt out blood, he was still suffering from the suppression of the pressure. His dragon energy formed a shield of light to resist the pressure while his true dragon body barrier was activated. Roar! With a loud explosion, a shocking wave immediately crashed towards the human experts on the giant rock. Ah! Ah! All! Ah! Countless screams rang out. The formation that had been prepared was scattered before it could even begin. After the huge wave, there were only about 50 martial arts grandmasters left on the boulder. The martial arts grandmasters were all holding protective light shields while the rest of the martial kings and martial spirits were sent flying by the waves. Let's do it. We'll lure the big guy away. Yang Ping shouted. After he finished speaking, 9 groups of martial arts grandmasters flew out and quickly flew towards the Tier 5 infant carp beast, bombarding it with shocking attacks. The attacks of martial arts grandmasters were all earth-shattering. They could even attack a martial royal infant carp beast for a while. In an instant, dozens of shocking attacks continuously bombarded the huge infant carp beast. The world trembled and space was torn apart inch by inch. At the same time, the martial king group and the 2 groups of martial arts grandmasters who were sent flying quickly attacked the other Tier 4 infant carp beasts. If they delayed any longer, these Tier 4 and Tier 3 infant carp beasts would join forces to attack the other martial arts grandmasters. At that time, everyone here would die. Rumble! Rumble! All the warrior spirits and warrior kings reacted and gathered together once again, starting a shocking battle of extermination. The battlefield opened up. 9 groups of martial arts grandmasters lured the 5th grade infant carp beast away. 47 martial arts grandmasters flew in the air, hovering in the air and attacking the infant carp beast. The 6 Stage 4 infant carp beasts were also lured away and attacked by the martial kings and martial grandmasters. The remaining 9 Stage 3 infant carp beasts were attacked by more than 500 martial spirits and more than 100 martial kings. As a warrior spirit disciple, Li Lingtian could not fly at all. He could only fly with his flying sword and bombard the Tier 3 infant carp beasts continuously. The Tier 3 infant carp beasts were equivalent to a martial king. In less than 10 minutes, 9 Tier 3 infant carp beasts were killed in the face of countless warrior spirit and martial king attacks. At this time, no one dared to go up and fight for the materials. Not only were all the martial artists eyeing them covetously, but there were also 4th-tier demon beasts present. If they were not careful, the shocking pressure would directly crush them to death. You guys get ready to assist in killing the Tier 4 infant carp beast. After the Tier 3 infant carp beast was killed, someone shouted. Although there was only a difference of 1 tier between Tier 3 and Tier 4, the difference in power was like heaven and earth. Even if martial arts grandmasters and martial kings joined forces, they could not kill the 4th-grade infant carp beast. On the contrary, hundreds of martial kings and 3 martial arts grandmasters had died. Rumble. Rumble. There were shocking explosions and screams of death. Countless martial spirit monarchs and martial grandmasters died from time to time. The most intense battle was still the battle between the 5th-level infant carp beast and the martial arts grandmasters. 47 martial arts grandmasters joined forces to kill the martial emperor infant carp beast. It looked like they were flying in the air to attack the infant carp beast, but any attack from the infant carp beast was like a shocking wave. With the power of death, the martial arts grandmasters were directly killed. All. Another martial arts grandmaster was killed by the shocking wave attack. Out of the 47 martial arts grandmasters, only 33 remained. What terrifying power! Li Lingtian was shocked. A Tier 3 infant carp beast was only a one-hit kill for him. However, he had no choice but to hide his true strength in this place. Now that they were facing the Tier 4 infant carp beast, they could only be passive and block the attacks of the Tier 4 infant carp beast with the other teams. He finally understood that even if the level of the demon beasts was the same, the power between them was worlds apart. For example, Little White, even if the dragon race's level was low, it was born strong. The dragons were Tier 4 and level 3. Even if they faced Tier 4, level 7, or level 8, they could submit or defeat them. This infant carp beast was completely of this type. Although it could not compare to the monstrous Little White Dragon clan, it was not much different. Level 4, level 5 was equivalent to other level 4, level 9 existences. Roar. Not good. Just as he was shocked, he let out a roar. He immediately felt a strong threat coming at him. Life and death, escape. He was shocked. The attack of a level 3 infant carp beast was coming. Although there were more than 10 people on his side, a single attack from a level 3 infant carp beast could destroy all those below the martial arts grandmaster level. With that thought, he summoned a black jade talisman and detonated it. The jade talisman exploded, and his entire body turned into an afterimage. He was already 5 miles away, and the afterimage was still far away. The shocking attack smashed over, and the afterimages disappeared. The entire team of nearly 20 people were destroyed and killed, crushed into ashes by the pressure and power. So powerful. Li Lingtian's heart trembled. Fortunately, he had the extra heart's eye and used the black jade talisman. Otherwise, he would have been severely injured even if he had used the true dragon body barrier and several other defenses. When the infant carp beast was attacking, he had thought of using the true dragon body barrier and other defensive measures. However, he couldn't reveal his strength and he didn't have a good impression of Wind Void. He had a feeling that something was wrong with the item Wind Void had taken out. Now that he had used it, he felt much more at ease. He didn't want to be chased down by others like the last time he was in the Sky Mountain range. It was inevitable that this jade talisman would be the same as the storage bag. Anyway, this jade talisman was only a one-time use. He did not expect that his narrow-mindedness would actually allow him to escape this calamity. The other warrior spirits were not so lucky and were directly crushed to death. F***ck, I'm not going. Li Lingtian watched the battle in the distance. Even though they were 5 miles apart, the battle between the martial arts grandmaster and martial king and the tier 4 and tier 5 infant carp beast shook the seas. The island shook as if it was about to sink. Since Wind Void had said that he shouldn't send himself to his death after using this jade talisman, he was more than willing to do so. Then, he found a relatively secluded place to meditate and rest. He quickly adjusted his breathing. At this time, true chi and energy were life. An extra trace of true chi and energy meant an extra chance of survival. Rumble. The final explosion on the east side of the island ended the battle. All the 3rd and 4th stage infant carp beasts were killed, leaving only the 5th stage infant carp beasts and the battle between 26 and the martial arts grandmaster. Everyone, don't hold back. It's already at the end of its attack. If you hold back, it'll be troublesome if you suffer a backlash. Yang Ping shouted, reminding those martial arts grandmasters who had held back. A martial emperor-level infant carp beast would die in one strike. Those martial arts grandmasters who had held back did not even have the chance to regret, Chapter 87, Demon Transformation Pill, Wind Demon. Chapter 87, Demon Transformation Pill, Wind Demon. Alright. Green Lotus Violent Song. Heaven Destroying Strike. Shocking Emperor Finger. Soaring Cloud Slash. Thunder Strike. All the surviving martial arts grandmasters understood the situation before them. There were less than 30 martial arts grandmasters left on the entire island. If they held back, they would be completely destroyed here. All of a sudden, the 29 martial arts grandmasters unleashed their strongest attack. Boom! Waves shook the sky and space was torn apart. Roar! Rumble. An earth-shattering roar followed by the sound of all attacks bombarding the level 5 infant carp beast. The earth-shattering explosion slowly disappeared, and the world quieted down. The huge black shadow fell down fiercely, and another wave rose in the sea. The battle had ended. In this battle, more than 300 warrior spirits, 200 martial kings, and 28 martial grandmasters had died. After paying such a price, there was only one goal, which was to kill the tier 5 infant carp beast and complete the 10 million mission. Li Lingtian felt a tinge of sadness in his heart. Warriors could only work hard for resources. They would often risk their lives and not be able to obtain any resources. They would lose more than 20 martial arts grandmasters, hundreds of warrior spirits, and hundreds of warrior kings, but they could only kill a small number of infant carp beasts. After a short period of silence, the atmosphere above the island became even more oppressive. The 29 martial arts grandmasters, except for Mo Feng, were all staring at the infant carp beast in the sea area. This 5th-grade infant carp beast had an inner core worth tens of millions. Swoosh! Swoosh! A martial arts grandmaster's body flashed and turned into a meteor that shot towards the infant carp beast. In the blink of an eye, he disappeared and entered the bloody mouth of the infant carp beast. The other martial arts grandmasters followed closely behind. If the inner core was taken away, they could fly freely. It would be difficult to chase after them. Boom! Less than a minute after the 20 martial arts grandmasters entered the infant carp beast's mouth, an explosion sounded and a figure shot out, quickly shooting into the sky. All of the martial arts grandmasters were chasing after it at high speed. They did not have the slightest intention of giving up on the Niden of the infant carp beast. Just now, they had risked their lives for the Niden of the infant carp beast. Naturally, they would not give up now. Come back to me. The inner core of the infant carp beast, 10 million low-grade spiritual stones, and 1 demon transformation pill. Li Lingtian could not understand why Wind Void would not pursue the infant Carp beast after seeing all the martial arts grandmasters chasing after it. Just as this thought crossed his mind, he heard Wind Void shout. His voice spread across the sky. The moment his voice appeared, the fleeing martial artist in front of him paused. His body made a strange turn and flew over again. All the martial arts grandmasters flew over. In an instant, more than 20 martial arts grandmasters arrived on the island. The aura on the entire island was extremely oppressive. Sir, so you were the one who issued this mission? What about the demon transformation pill? Lei Tian looked at Wind Void with a sharp gaze. He was a little afraid of Wind Void. However, for this mission, it could be said that they had risked their lives. Now that the person who issued the mission was right in front of them, they naturally would not take the wrong path. The other martial arts grandmasters also surrounded Wind Void. The air was extremely oppressive. If Wind Void dared to lie to them, they would definitely tear him apart. Demon transformation pill. Not good, I understand. Li Lingtian finally came to a realization. Even though warriors lacked spiritual stones, it was definitely not worth it for so many grandmasters to risk their lives for 10 million spiritual stones. This was one of the reasons why he was suspicious. Now that he had heard Wind Void mention the demonized pill and seen the expressions of the other martial arts grandmasters, even if he was a fool, he would understand. All the Wuzongs were not here for the 10 million spirit stones, but for the demon transformation pill. It was just that he did not understand the biggest benefit of the mission, which was this demon transformation pill. His alchemy skills were powerful and he knew a lot about alchemy. Although he did not know how to refine this demon transformation pill, he knew how powerful it was. The demon transformation pill was a top-notch 5th-grade medicinal pill. It was a kind of magical and strange medicinal pill. It was also an extremely vicious pill. Such a pill had heaven-defying benefits for martial arts grandmasters. It could increase the lifespan of martial arts grandmasters by 100 years and at the same time increase their cultivation by 1 realm. More importantly, after reaching the peak of rank 9, it would be a heaven-defying help to break through to the martial royal realm. It could increase the chances of breaking through to the martial royal realm by 10%. Such a heaven-defying medicinal pill made martial arts grandmasters scramble for it. No wonder these martial arts grandmasters came to fight. Wind Void, this black-robed old man was able to take out the demon transformation pill, so he definitely wasn't that simple. Could Wind Void be a demon? Wind Void? Wind Demon? So that's how it is. It's actually a demon. Li Lingtian came to a realization. Wind Void's previous actions, his aura and strange pressure, his merciless killing of his subordinates, and the black jade talisman he gave them to cultivate the formation of 10,000 extinguishers were all abilities that only the demons possessed. Ha, the devil transformation pill is naturally here. Wind Demon laughed out loud. He stretched out his hand, and a 5-inch wide box appeared in his hand. The box was emitting a dense black gas. Seeing this black gas, all the martial artists were stunned. However, they immediately understood that someone who could take out a demon transformation pill should not be a good thing. Bang! With a soft sound, some warriors stared at the box in Wind Demon's hand. The box opened and a black pill floated in front of Wind Demon, spinning non-stop. In the air, an erosive demonic chi was emitted. Countless warrior spirit disciples' cultivation bases were rapidly eroded by this demonic chi, and their expressions were extremely ugly. Demonic chi, this is the demon transformation pill. It's indeed a demon transformation pill. I didn't expect this mission to really be issued by you. Since you have the demon transformation pill, I'll give this inner core to you. Greed appeared on the faces of all the martial arts grandmasters. At first, they did not believe in Wind Demon. Now that they saw the demon transformation pill, all their attention was shifted to Wind Demon and they completely gave up on martial arts grandmaster Lei Tian, who controlled the inner pill. Seeing the pill, Lei Tian was excited. He threw a fist-sized inner core toward Wind Demon and arrived in front of him in an instant. Kaka, the inner core of the 5th grade infant Carp beast is in hand, your mission is completed. Wind Demon laughed sinisterly as he stared at the inner core in his hand. He had no intention of taking out the demon transformation pill. All the martial arts grandmasters Aura's sword. Since this black-robed old man had taken out the demonized pill, he should have more demonized pills on him. If they killed him, it would not be as simple as just one demonized pill. They did not hear Wind Demon's tone at all. Li Lingtian knew that no one knew Wind Demon's identity until now. Otherwise, they would not have stayed here and would have fled in a hurry. It was no wonder that the Wind Demons were known to very few warriors in the Divine Martial Continent. Li Lingtian had learned about the Wind Demon clan's frightening strength through his search for the pill formula. He wanted to escape, but Wind Demon's consciousness had locked onto him. He had no chance to escape. More importantly, he didn't know if he should use the Myriad Extermination Formation. If he used the Myriad Extermination Formation, everyone here would die, and he would be silenced. Sir, I have given you the inner core. Since the mission is completed, you should give me the 10 million spirit stones and the demon transformation pill, right? Lei Tian still didn't know how to ask for the pills. The other Wuzongs were also about to start a war, but their target was Wind Demon. Chapter 88, Chapter 88, Demonic Qi Overflowing the Heavens. Chapter 88, Demonic Qi Overflowing the Heavens. Alright, your mission is complete. It's time for you to die. Wind Demon said calmly. After that, his body burst out with a shocking demonic qi. The demonic qi instantly extended to 1,000 meters, covering everyone. My cultivation. Not good, it's demonic qi. It's the demonic wind qi. Be careful, this is a demon. Ha, one didn't expect that we would actually be used by this demon. Join forces and kill the demon. Otherwise, we won't be able to leave. At this moment, all the martial artists reacted and continuously used their protective shields to block the demonic qi. A warrior spirit's disciple would die upon contact with the demonic qi. They had no way of resisting at all. Even a warrior king could only resist with all his might. Rumble. Amidst the shocking demonic qi, more than 10 demonic qi tentacles slapped fiercely at the martial arts grandmaster expert. With one strike, the martial arts grandmaster expert was destroyed. The martial king realm expert was crushed into ashes. His blood essence and genuine qi disappeared in the air and finally entered the demonic qi. The demonic qi seemed to be nourished and grew rapidly. Thunder Spear. At this moment, Yang Ping roared loudly. A purple spear appeared in his hand. It was a peerless Xian artifact, the Thunder Spear. The Thunder Spear brought with it shocking electric arcs as it smashed fiercely towards Wind Demon. Thunder was the natural nemesis of demonic qi. Now, he did not dare to hold back. If he held back, he would only die here forever. Demon Transformation Body. Wind Demon's eyes were also filled with shock. He did not expect these people to have treasures that could deal with demonic qi. The demonic qi in his body turned into a pillar of light and fiercely met the Thunder Spear. In an instant, two shocking attacks collided. Rumble. With a loud explosion, the Thunder Spear's attack collided with the demonic qi light beam. Yang Ping and Wind Demon retreated violently at the same time, spitting out a mouthful of blood. Both of them were heavily injured. Quick! Everyone, join forces. He's already injured. Seeing this, Long Haoyu shouted loudly. The devil race was the natural enemy of mankind. No matter what, they would always give up on the grudge between them to deal with the devil race. As soon as he finished speaking, his body flashed, and a shocking attack ruthlessly smashed toward Wind Demon. Rumble. Hundreds of attacks landed on Wind Demon's body. He disappeared and was instantly turned into ashes. The world quieted down, and the demonic chi gradually dissipated. Dead? He died just like that. The demons are only so. Hurry up and find the Niden of the infant carp beast and leave this place. All the experts were shocked and confused. This wind demon was killed in one strike by everyone. Immediately, all the warriors flew toward the sea area, fighting for the Niden and materials of the infant carp beast, as well as the storage bags of the warriors killed in the sea area. No, he's not dead yet. It's impossible for him to die so easily. His body can revive indefinitely. Li Lingtian watched from afar as Wind Demon was killed. All the warriors were fighting for the materials and inner core, but he did not move at all. The uneasiness on his face grew. Qian Shifeng, Qin Zhong, and the others were not far away from him. They did not fight for the materials and inner cores. Hiss. At this moment, a huge hole was torn in the sky, followed by a strange and shocking demonic chi coming from the sky. The pressure of the demonic chi directly crushed all the martial artists, endlessly crushing them. Demonic chi. What a terrifying demonic chi. What's going on? The devil is dead. Why is there still such terrifying devil chi? Not good, the demons from the upper realm have descended. What? Upper realm demons? Could it be that the demon just now didn't die and summoned the upper realm demons instead? The warrior spirits were completely killed, and there were only a few martial kings left. There were only 20 martial arts grandmasters who were resisting the terrifying demonic chi in the sky. Use the myriad destruction formation. A dignified voice sounded. The pressure of an almighty expert, even if it was a demon, carried a supreme pressure. All the warriors were confused. Only Li Lingtian and the rest understood what was going on. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Qin Zhong and the others could not help but move as they quickly surrounded all the martial arts grandmasters. Li Lingtian was shocked as well. After cultivating the formation of 10,000 extermination, he could not do anything about it. In the blink of an eye, the 7 of them surrounded the 20 martial arts grandmasters and cast strange array seals. Not good. It's the Wind Demon clan's myriad extermination formation. They're being controlled. Break this formation. Hurry up, don't wait for that upper realm demon to descend. The few martial arts grandmasters understood that the Wind Demon wanted to use the true chi of the human ancient martial art practitioners to cast the formation of 10,000 extermination to trap them and delay time to bring the upper realm devil avatar down to the lower realm. Since you can control me, the way to break the formation begins with the core of the formation. Li Lingtian thought to himself as he cast the formation of innumerable destruction involuntarily. He was a human, so he would be controlled by the devil race. The formation of 10,000 extinguishing had already been used, so he couldn't stop it by himself. However, he could think of a way to break the formation in the middle. They were the core of the formation. As long as he could escape from Wind Demon's control, he could destroy the formation completely. Rumble. The array formation formed a shocking black light shield that was 1,000 meters wide. It enveloped all the martial grandmasters within it, and the other martial kings and martial spirits had long died. All the martial arts grandmasters had a solemn expression on their faces. Gradually, their solemn expressions became terrifying. This was because the attacks of all the martial arts grandmasters had no effect on the light barrier. More importantly, the light barrier array formation continued to erode their cultivation, and their cultivation rapidly decreased. If this continued, even if they were not killed by Wind Demon, their cultivation would be crippled. Lowly humans, go to hell. The devil chi between heaven and earth condensed. The destroyed wind devil quickly condensed in the air, and a 20-meter tall devil floated in the air. It had blood-red eyes and huge arms. Its entire body was condensed from demonic chi, emitting a shocking demonic chi. After Wind Demon finished speaking, he descended and landed on the light shield of the formation. He waved his hands continuously, and a shocking demonic aura quickly pressed down on the formation. Together with the formation, the power of the formation suddenly became terrifying. Kaka, the Wind Demon clan has a heaven-defying demon that can revive indefinitely. You will never be able to kill me. Wind Demon smiled faintly. The shocking demonic aura continued to erode the cultivation of the martial arts grandmaster expert. His cultivation was disappearing extremely quickly. My cultivation? What should we do? I don't want to die. Could it be that my sect will fall at the hands of the demons? I don't want your spirit stones and demon-dissolving pills. Stop. All the Wuzongs could no longer withstand such a blow, and their minds almost collapsed. Li Lingtian's expression was grave as well. Looking at these martial arts grandmasters, what would happen to him if he were to face such a situation one day? Chapter 89, The Descent of the Heavenly Demon. Chapter 89, The Descent of the Heavenly Demon. That won't happen. Even if I die, I will destroy this world. He kept waving his hands and sending out his Jinchi to maintain the array. He also realized that his Jinchi was flowing out even faster after the arrival of Wind Demon. If he did not stop, all the Wuzongs here would die. At that time, he would not have any confidence in facing the Wind Demon alone. Can't one kill you? This young master has been waiting for this day. You're digging your own grave by making me the core of the array. Li Lingtian spoke coldly as he glared at Wind Demon, who was shrouded in a light shield above him. There was a strange smile in his eyes. The martial arts grandmaster in the array below was stunned when he heard his voice. Humans who were being controlled did not have their own consciousness. He did not expect a warrior spirit disciple to say such words. What happened next shocked them. They weren't the only ones who were shocked. Even Wind Demon was shocked. Flaming body, heaven and earth burn. Ice vitality divine fist, icebound 1,000 miles. Li Lingtian steeled his heart. Since he needed his true chi to maintain the array formation, he would unleash the most terrifying ice-type and fire-type true chi. The simultaneous appearance of both types of true chi would cause the array formation to become unstable. As expected, a 10-meter-wide flame appeared with Li Lingtian at the center. The flame devoured everything in the world, and at the same time, there was a glacier beyond the flame. The array solidified, and the cultivation of the martial arts grandmaster stopped flowing. The world seemed to have stopped. Damn it, so you've been scheming against me all along. I'm going to tear you apart. When he saw that the array formation was actually stopped by a warrior spirit disciple, and that the terrifying blazing flame chi and chilling ice chi were rapidly eroding him, he was instantly enraged. While he resisted the blazing flame chi and chilling ice chi, he cursed loudly. Break! Li Lingtian's face turned pale. He could not hold on any longer by using two different martial soul skills to fight against Wind Demon. All the genuine chi in his body condensed into a line, causing the heaven and earth to burn and the glacier to explode. A destructive aura appeared in the sky. Kacha! Rumble! Puchi! With a soft sound, the glacier shattered. Immediately, flames exploded and soared into the sky. When the flames and the glacier met, a terrifying power erupted. Even though he was the master, he was still hit by the terrifying aftershock and spat out a mouthful of blood. More than 20 martial arts grandmasters were also sent flying. Wind Demon was the first to bear the brunt. The shocking flames and glaciers directly sent him flying. What terrifying power! Ice and fire dual martial souls. A warrior spirit's disciple who can control ice and fire martial souls is indeed abnormal. One didn't expect that there would be a disciple in Eastern Spirit Azure continent who could control the ice and fire martial souls. The first reaction of all the martial arts grandmasters was to be shocked by the power of Li Lingtian's ice-fire martial soul. This power contained both ice and fire elements. Even the martial arts grandmasters were shocked by its terrifying power. In the past, they had basically ignored the warrior spirit disciples. They did not expect that this warrior spirit disciple would actually display an attack that made them feel threatened. One didn't expect the power of the Ice Vitality Divine Fist and the Heaven and Earth Conflagration to be so terrifying. Li Lingtian was also stunned by his own attack. He never expected it to be so overbearing. Although the most powerful of the two skills was only Earth rank, the power of this attack was not something that Earth rank could compare to. As someone who cultivated the cannon, his knowledge of techniques and skills was unparalleled. He secretly estimated that if he could control these two skills and fuse them together, the power would definitely not be inferior to a god-tier skill. This thought in his heart shocked him. This was a skill that he had created himself, and it was impossible for such a skill to appear. This skill violated the rules of the world and broke away from the principles. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your help. All of a sudden, the martial arts grandmasters came to their senses. Although this warrior spirit disciple was one of the people who cast the array formation, they had overheard the conversation between Wind Demon and Li Lingtian and understood that Li Lingtian was plotting against Wind Demon while they were merely pawns. If it were not for Li Lingtian's timely intervention, they would definitely be dead by now. No matter what, this warrior spirit disciple had saved their lives. Don't be in such a hurry to thank this young master. Let's think of a way to deal with him first. Li Lingtian smiled bitterly. He was the only one who survived the 7 people who cast the array formation. There were only 26 martial arts grandmasters left. His attack had sent Wind Demon flying, but he hadn't been killed. Looking at Wind Demon slowly descending from the sky, his heart sank. Everyone followed Li Lingtian's gesture and their expressions changed drastically. There was a black bloodstain at the corner of Wind Demon's mouth. It appeared that he was severely injured, but he was not killed. Although their cultivation was still at the martial arts grandmaster level, their cultivation had been lost by quite a bit, and they had all fallen by a realm. Even if they joined forces at their peak, they wouldn't be a match for this Wind Demon. Now, there was even less of a choice. Lowly human, how dare you scheme against me? Today, one will turn you into a puppet. Heavenly Devil Descent, True Devil Body. Wind Demon roared. His face was filled with anger, and the demonic chi between heaven and earth gathered toward him. As the devil chi gathered, Wind Demon's cultivation base and momentum rose rapidly. The speed of the increase made all the warriors' hearts sink. Rank 6 Martial Arts Grandmaster. Rank 7 Martial Arts Grandmaster. Rank 8 Martial Arts Grandmaster. Martial Arts Grandmaster Tier 9. Peak of Martial Arts Grandmaster Tier 9. Wind Demon's aura soared, and his cultivation base also rose rapidly. All the warriors' faces were numb. He was already heaven-defying. With such a sharp increase in his cultivation, even if more than 20 martial arts grandmasters joined forces, they would not stand a chance. Li Lingtian was equally horrified. If he had used Wind Demon's strength, he might have had a chance to escape. However, he could not escape in the vast ocean. First level Martial Emperor. As his aura rose, Wind Demon's cultivation finally broke through the martial arts grandmaster level and reached the first level of the Martial Emperor level. Martial Emperor, Martial Emperor. His strength was shocking. The power of heaven and earth tore apart, and the air shattered. The 20 martial arts grandmasters gasped in shock. They were so terrified that they felt like they were about to die. Now, they did not even have the chance to escape. Join forces, hurry up and join forces. Li Lingtian quickly reminded all the martial arts grandmasters that they would be finished if they did not make a move. Yes, everyone knows the situation. If we show mercy, everyone will die. Yang Ping nodded and agreed. At this moment, all the martial grandmasters were actually following the lead of a warrior spirit disciple. When the battle began, the 26 martial arts grandmasters joined forces. Martial arts grandmasters were martial arts grandmasters. Even if their cultivation levels had decreased, they could only use all their strength to survive. All of a sudden, the 26 martial arts grandmasters and Wind Demon were engaged in a fierce battle in the air. Although the Wind Demon was a martial royal realm expert, it was powerful. However, with the 26 martial arts grandmasters working together, they were able to attack and defend in an orderly manner. Chapter 90, Battle with Wind Demon, 1. Chapter 90, Battle with Wind Demon, 1. The last 2 blue dust pills. On the island, Li Lingtian watched the battle in the sky as the fierce force destroyed the island. With a flick of his divine consciousness, he took out a jade bottle. 2 blue pills appeared in his hand. He then threw one into his mouth, and the Jinqi that had disappeared from his body instantly recovered. Ah! Oh! The death of 2 martial arts grandmasters was exchanged for a serious injury from Wind Demon. The battle in the sky was no longer a battle of martial arts, but a battle of life and death. There was no longer any conflict of interests. It was a war between races. It was either you die or I die. It was also Li Lingtian's first time witnessing the true strength of a martial arts grandmaster. He did not hold back and did not care about his life. His only goal was to kill the Wind Demon before him. It's time to make a move. Li Lingtian muttered to himself. With a flick of his divine consciousness, Little White appeared before him. He was also a hot-blooded man. When he saw such a big battle, he naturally wouldn't sit back and do nothing. Martial artists had the heart of the strong. Even Wuzongs had fought against the demons for their own race. He was also a human. How could he not do anything? Roar! With a loud roar, a shocking dragon energy and demonic power surged out. In addition to demonic energy and spiritual energy, there was also a shocking dragon energy and demonic power in the entire air. Wind Demon and Wuzong who were fighting in the air noticed the roar as well. They were shocked when they saw the 3-colored dragon that Li Lingtian was riding on. Li Lingtian sat on Little White's back. Little White was a dragon. It flew up and shot into the sky with its frightening dragon might. Dragon! It's actually a 3-colored dragon. Why does this guy have a dragon as his mount? The martial arts grandmaster powerhouses were stunned. A warrior spirit disciple with ice and fire dual martial souls had broken the array formation and injured Wind Demon. Now, he even took out a 3-colored dragon. Any of these things were beyond their imagination. Let's take turns. Li Lingtian joined the martial grandmasters. Riding on the 3-colored dragon, he swung the roaring dragon battle halberd horizontally. The dragon aura was awe-inspiring and his entire body was shrouded in a faint dragon aura. The true dragon body barrier was activated. A faint light barrier protected him, and he looked extraordinary. This made the other martial arts grandmasters extremely envious. This warrior spirit disciple was way too exaggerated. Using the dragon as a mount, he faced the Wind Demon at the martial emperor realm with an awe-inspiring appearance. He did not have the slightest fear, making the martial ancestor realm experts feel inferior. Alright, be careful. Yang Ping and the others looked at Li Lingtian and spoke in a serious tone. At this moment, they were comrades and their enemies were the same kind of demons. Having one more comrade was better than having one more enemy. Furthermore, the identity of this warrior spirit disciple had completely changed in their hearts. In their eyes, this warrior spirit disciple was definitely not simple. Kill them. With a soft shout, the roaring dragon battle halberd in his hand emitted a shocking pressure. Although his cultivation could only unleash the power of the roaring dragon battle halberd to the extreme of a peerless profound level weapon, a divine weapon was still a divine weapon. The divine weapon pressure inside could crush everything. It was just that his cultivation was low. More importantly, he had tempered his body with dragon energy and cultivated the true dragon body barrier, so he could use the roaring dragon combat halberd with ease. Die. Wind Demon was even more enraged when he saw that Li Lingtian had ignored him. Coupled with the fact that he had schemed against him earlier, a streak of black demonic chi that was filled with terror shot toward Li Lingtian. Rumble. The dragon chi of the roaring dragon battle poleaxe rushed out and smashed straight at the demonic chi. With an explosion, the dragon chi and the demonic chi cancelled each other out. Little White roared and blocked the remaining power of the demonic chi and the dragon chi with a fluorescent light. On the other hand, Wind Demon was extremely shocked. The dragon energy was indeed domineering. He was not even afraid of the devil energy. His body trembled and he retreated. What a terrifying three-colored dragon. If I had a three-colored dragon like this, one would be able to completely ignore the attacks of Wuzong's. What a powerful defense. Between you and me, no one is his match. The group of martial arts grandmasters were envious of Li Lingtian's Dragon Roar Warrior Halberd's might and Little White's defense. If a martial artist had a demonic beast as a combat partner, just this defense alone could increase countless times. Shocked, he immediately reacted. His body flashed and the 26 martial arts grandmasters took turns to attack Wind Demon. In the sky above the sea, the battle between the martial arts grandmaster and the Wind Demon began again. The waves were rolling. Little White, who Li Lingtian was sitting on, also unleashed its dragon's might and dragon's roar. Demonic chi was rampant, dragon chi shook the sky, and spiritual energy shattered. The island trembled. Rumble. All. 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 The sounds of attacks, the screams of dying martial grandmasters, and the sound of blood spurting out. Although the wind demons at the martial royal realm were covered in injuries, martial grandmasters were dying continuously. Li Lingtian was also bleeding from the corner of his mouth and his face was pale. He finally had some understanding of a martial emperor powerhouse. Damn it, I'm angry. How dare you hurt me? I'll let you live forever. Let's see how you can revive endlessly. Block him for me for a while. Li Lingtian looked at the 11 martial arts grandmasters behind him. The rest were already dead and Wind Demon was at the end of his offensive. If he allowed Wind Demon to act out of desperation, he would be finished. With that, Little White retreated 50 meters away. Alright, this sect is the Shattered Clouds sect. If young master is fortunate enough to leave this place, please take care of the Shattered Clouds sect in the future. The 11 martial arts grandmasters were not worried that Li Lingtian would escape. Even if Li Lingtian wanted to escape, he could not do so now. In just a few minutes, they had already seen through Li Lingtian's character. This warrior spirit youth was not a fool. Their intelligence was no less than theirs, so they naturally did not dare to escape. Yun Shaotian looked at his own cultivation. He was about to fall to the martial king realm. He smiled bitterly in his heart and made up his mind. This young man was heaven-defying. If he could take care of his sect in the future, it would be worth it. As soon as he said that, a storage bag flew toward Li Lingtian and his body shot toward Wind Demon. The aura on his body became extremely strange. Brother Yun is going to self-destruct. Quickly dodge. Yang Ping was also shocked. This aura belonged to a martial arts grandmaster reversing his meridians and burning his lifespan and blood essence to self-destruct. The power of a martial arts grandmaster's self-destruction was shocking. As long as your Shattered Clouds sect doesn't provoke any trouble, your sect will prosper for generations to come. Li Lingtian said calmly. As soon as he finished speaking, he closed his eyes and retracted his roaring dragon combat halberd. He gathered his aura and gathered his true chi. Rumble. With a loud explosion, the destructive aura between heaven and earth swept over. Li Lingtian's Little White retreated to reduce the impact of the aftershock. Wind Demon was the first to bear the brunt. Even a martial royal realm expert would not dare to resist the self-destruction of a martial grandmaster. Wind Demon's body seemed to have been blown away by the attack, but no blood flowed out of his body. Instead, the demonic qi around his body kept condensing and his body quickly recovered. Yun Xiaotian's self-destruction had stalled for time, but now, it had already dissipated. The 10 martial arts grandmasters looked ashamed. They were all martial arts grandmasters, but they could actually bring out such boldness. Shield of the Earth. Phantom Shield. Blazing Flame Wall. Seeing Yun Xiaotian self-destruct and die, Li Lingtian's aura became extremely strange. Anyone with a discerning eye could tell that Li Lingtian was using some kind of heaven-defying skill or attack. At that moment, the 10 martial arts grandmasters had placed all their hopes on Li Lingtian. If Li Lingtian could not kill Wind Demon, they could only wait for death. The 10 martial arts grandmasters deployed their defenses to block Li Lingtian, fearing that Wind Demon would attack him. Chapter 91, Heaven Extreme Tyrant Emperor Saber. Chapter 91, Heaven Extreme Tyrant Emperor Saber. Heaven and earth return to one. Chi. The demonic aura continued to erode the defense of martial arts grandmaster experts. The corrosive power of the demonic aura was abnormal, and it specialized in corrupting human attacks and treasures. Meanwhile, Li Lingtian's eyes were still tightly shut as his aura slowly changed. All the martial arts grandmasters were extremely worried when they saw this. They did not know when Li Lingtian would be able to unleash his attack. Furthermore, what was the power of Li Lingtian's attack? This hopeless hope almost drove them crazy. Human, you can understand the infinite resurrection. When you die, this world will belong to us demons. Wind Demon looked at the giant rock. His injuries had completely recovered, and his demonic qi was even more overbearing. As soon as he finished speaking, he raised an arm and a shocking amount of demonic qi turned into a black light that blasted toward Li Lingtian. He did not want anything to happen again. Not good. The martial arts grandmasters naturally understood Wind Demon's actions. Even if they self-destructed, they would not be able to withstand this attack. Their eyes were filled with despair. At this moment, a strange aura erupted between heaven and earth. This aura was very small, but it gave people a supreme majesty. The pressure of an emperor weapon? No, it's not the pressure of an emperor weapon. This aura has surpassed an emperor weapon. Could it be a saint artifact? When the 10 martial arts grandmasters sensed the aura, they were shocked. They turned to look at Li Lingtian and even forgot about the demonic qi attack. Li Lingtian opened his eyes and his eyes shone brightly. His aura had reached its peak. His entire person was like a god descending on the world, giving off a high and mighty aura. What kind of pressure is this? Wind Demon also felt that something was wrong. This kind of aura was a natural threat to the demonic qi, just like ice and fire. Upon seeing this aura, they dared not be careless. More demonic qi was added to the demonic qi light ball. In the blink of an eye, the demonic qi light ball was in mid-air and enveloped Li Lingtian and the others. Heaven Extreme Tyrant Emperor Saber, heaven and earth become one. With a soft shout that sounded like a dragon's roar from the heavens, Li Lingtian stood on Whitey's body with a 3-foot-long overpowering saber in his hand that exuded a shocking aura. Li Lingtian knew that this aura was the divine weapon's pressure. The divine weapon had formed its own domain. In the current situation, he could only force himself to use the celestial emperor saber. The sky seemed to have been split into two as the saber slashed out. A destructive purple saber light slashed straight at the black demonic qi. Rumble. The saber radiance cut the demonic qi, which was cut in half without any resistance. The shocking saber radiance came to the front of Wind Demon. At this moment, Wind Demon was completely stunned by the pressure of the heaven's extreme tyrant emperor saber. He didn't even have time to dodge and block the incoming saber light. All. I have the body of infinite resurrection. You can't kill me. All, ah. The shocking saber light carried a destructive power. This power also had a magical effect. The wind demon was crushed by the saber light. Miserable screams rang out continuously. They were resurrected endlessly. When they encountered the power of a divine artifact, they were all trash. The screams became weaker and weaker. In the end, the saber light scattered in all directions. The demonic chi was completely swept away by the saber light, and the world was clear. Silence, it was terrifyingly quiet. The 10 martial arts grandmasters who had survived were all stunned as they watched the demonic chi between heaven and earth gradually disappear. The martial emperor devil race, which had been resurrected endlessly, had actually fallen under such a blow. He was already extremely afraid of the youth behind him. Fortunately, he did not provoke this youth. Otherwise, he would have vanished into thin air with a single strike from this youth. After waiting for a long time, everyone was relieved. This time, Wind Demon, who had been resurrected indefinitely, was completely dead. The sound of blood spurting out broke the silence. Li Lingtian spat out a mouthful of blood and his body swayed as he almost fell off. At that moment, Little White's body emitted a burst of dragon energy and pinned Li Lingtian to its body. He put away the saber with a trace of fear in his eyes. This saber is a divine weapon, a real divine weapon. I've killed a wind demon at the level of a force emperor by exerting a trace of the power of a divine weapon. However, his meridians were all broken and his injuries were extremely bad. He originally thought that he had successfully refined the Empyrean Extreme Overlord Saber, but he did not expect that this saber had not been successfully refined in the first place. Even if he could successfully refine a real divine weapon with his current warrior spirit cultivation, he would need to be at least a martial arts grandmaster or above to be able to do so. If he wanted to control it, it was definitely not something that a martial arts grandmaster or a martial emperor could do. Only the legendary martial god could do so. Is young master all right? The 10 martial arts grandmasters stared at Li Lingtian as their hearts raced. This young man was extremely terrifying. If they had not seen him with their own eyes, they would never believe that there was such a powerful warrior spirit disciple in this world. They did not dare to provoke this youth now. Even if this youth was heavily injured, who knew what strange and heaven-defying methods this youth had yet to display? I'm fine. 1 foot 11 inches give you the demon transformation pill you need. Leave this place as soon as possible. When Li Lingtian opened his eyes, he felt as if his entire body was devoid of strength and aura. However, his casual words were taken seriously by these martial arts grandmasters. As soon as he finished speaking, he released his divine sense, causing the space to tremble. 2 shocking demonic chi erupted, and a huge multicolored beast and a terrifying blue-eyed beast appeared on the ground. The multicolored beast's body flashed and shot toward a storage bag. This storage bag belonged to Wind Demon. Even though Li Lingtian did not sign a contract with the multicolored beast, he knew Li Lingtian's personality and hobbies after spending some time together. At the same time, Little White, who Li Lingtian was sitting on, descended as well. The multicolored beast handed the storage pouch to Li Lingtian. Then, the Jade-Eyed beast and multicolored beast flashed towards the dead infant Carp beasts above the sea area and collected their inner cores. Countless storage pouches and spirit weapons and profound armaments were placed before Li Lingtian. The storage pouches and treasures of hundreds of warrior spirits and warrior kings and dozens of martial grandmasters were a shocking amount of wealth. As expected, a Tier 4 demonic beast is actually willing to submit to him. What a mysterious youth. I wonder which faction is able to nurture such a heaven-defying disciple. The martial arts grandmaster powerhouses were shocked and they saw Li Lingtian's 3 mystical beasts. They were glad that they did not provoke the young man. Otherwise, the emerald-eyed beast and multicolored beast would have been enough to make them suffer. The few of them looked at each other. They had long lost interest in fighting for the treasure. They had narrowly escaped death. Being able to keep their lives was a great fortune among misfortune. Moreover, they had relied on a warrior spirit disciple to fight for their lives. Li Lingtian's divine consciousness entered the storage pouch. There were many items inside, but he did not have much divine consciousness left in it. He retrieved a jade bottle as soon as he found it. Chapter 92, Chapter 92, Tier 9 Warrior Spirit. Chapter 92, Tier 9 Warrior Spirit. Demon Transformation Pill. There were 3 scarlet words on the jade bottle. At a glance, one could tell that there was a demon transformation pill inside. There are 46 demon transformation pills here. Each of you can take 2. Any objections? Li Lingtian replied calmly. As an alchemist, he naturally knew the power of the demonized pill. An alchemist was a warrior ascendant powerhouse and should not overuse the demonized pill. Otherwise, it would backfire. Thank you for your help, young master. Otherwise, our lives would have been left here. 2 demon transformation pills are enough. That's right. Although I'm not a good person, I understand the importance of right and wrong. Thank you for your help this time, young master. In the future, if you need anything from me, please feel free to ask. This is my token. None of the martial arts grandmasters had any objections as they revealed their tokens and identities. Li Lingtian distributed the demonized pills to the martial arts grandmasters, and in less than 10 minutes, everyone had disappeared. Li Lingtian heaved a sigh of relief when he saw everyone leaving. If these martial arts grandmasters were to attack him, he would have no choice but to flee. The 2 of you, hurry up and collect all the storage bags and items here. Little White, go and collect the materials for the infant carp beast. Li Lingtian instructed the Jade-Eyed beast and multicolored beast before he and Little White flew toward the infant carp beast to collect its materials and blood essence. The 3 beasts and 1 person worked for a full hour before they finished collecting all the storage bags and items, as well as the materials for the infant carp beast. After collecting them, they quickly left the giant rock and found a hidden place on the island to settle down. His injuries were extremely severe. He had never suffered such injuries before. This was the outcome of forcefully using a divine artifact. He had used the Roaring Dragon Battle Halberd because he had dragon energy on his body. After being tempered by dragon energy, even if he couldn't unleash the power of the Roaring Dragon Battle Halberd, he wouldn't suffer such a terrifying backlash. In a hidden cave, the Jade-Eyed beast and the multicolored beast were entrenched inside. Little White was also guarding the entrance of the cave. Li Lingtian tossed a myriad spirit pill into his mouth. He used the true dragon body protection to repair his meridians and the heaven and earth reincarnation to heal his injuries. Days passed and it took Li Lingtian half a month to recover from his meridian injuries. After this injury, his recovery allowed him to break through to Tier 8 Warrior Spirit. A Tier 9 Warrior Spirit is much stronger than a Tier 8-5 Spirit. Li Lingtian opened his eyes with a satisfied look on his face. After half a month of recuperation, his injuries had fully recovered. However, the thought of the Empyrean terminus Emperor Saber still made him shudder. Wind Demon spent so much effort to find the inner core of a 5th-grade infant carp beast. It definitely isn't that simple. Li Lingtian looked at the infant carp beast's inner core. Wind Demon had used the demonized pill and 10 million spiritual stones to issue this mission. It was definitely not that simple. From Wind Demon's situation on the way here, this inner core should be a key, but he didn't know. Giant rock? He recalled the situation when Wind Demon obtained the inner core. He noticed Wind Demon's gaze at that time. Wind Demon's gaze was on the giant rock. Moreover, why would the infant carp beast appear at the place where the giant rock was located? Moreover, it appeared on time. Could it be that it had something to do with the place where the giant rock was located? Thinking of this, he opened the cave. The multicolored beast and the Jade-Eyed beast returned to the divine dragon ring and flew toward the giant rock with Little White in their arms. After a short while, they arrived at the huge rock. The sea area that was originally blood red had been restored in the shocking waves. If it weren't for the corpses of some martial artists on the island, they wouldn't have thought that there had been a battle between dozens of martial arts grandmasters and a martial emperor-level infant carp beast, let alone a martial emperor-level wind demon. The giant rock was 100 meters high from the surface of the sea, and it was 1,000 meters long. Even if his soul consciousness was powerful, he couldn't search all over this place in a short time. He sat down cross-legged and began to scan the stone wall inch by inch with his divine sense, not letting go of any clues. After a full hour, Li Lingtian's face lit up with excitement. With a flash of his body, he signaled for Little White to descend. When they came to the surface of the sea, a flying sword of the spirit weapon class shot out and stabbed into the boulder. Li Lingtian flew over at the same time and stood on the flying sword. In his line of sight, there was a fist-sized black hole on the giant rock. He didn't know how deep the black hole was, and it was difficult for his soul consciousness to enter. This made him even more certain of the importance of this black hole. He placed the Grade 5 Niden into the black hole. The size of the Grade 5 Niden was exactly the same as the black hole. The Niden of the infant carp beast disappeared into the black hole. 10 seconds later, a black light burst out of the black hole, and the island trembled. Crash! With a tearing sound, the 100-meter-tall boulder suddenly split apart, revealing a huge hole. Li Lingtian's expression turned grave when he saw this. Wind Demon wanted the inner core precisely because he wanted the infant carp beast's inner core to open up this giant rock. There must be something bad inside the giant rock. Those that were suitable for demons were definitely the nemesis of humans. He felt a trace of regret in his heart. However, it was too late to regret it. A crack that was 3 meters wide and 100 meters deep appeared on the stone wall. At the end of the crack was an array altar. An astonishing suction force erupted from the array altar and pulled Li Lingtian, who did not react in the slightest, toward it. By the time he could react, he was already on top of the array altar. The array altar was activated and Li Lingtian's body had disappeared. No one knew where he was teleported to. Bang! With a dull thud, Li Lingtian's body fell to the ground. It was pitch black all around him and he had no idea where he was. In the darkness, his divine perception could not penetrate it. Spiritual energy, extremely dense spiritual energy, and within the spiritual energy, there was a trace of demonic energy. Blazing flame explosion. Darkness was the most unsuitable environment for humans, and it was the same for Li Lingtian. His divine consciousness could not penetrate the darkness and he was like an ordinary person. He circulated his genuine qi and unleashed his raging flames. Instantly, a blazing light drove away the darkness. Everything before Li Lingtian's eyes was displayed. He was in a stone room with a radius of 100 square meters. There were no doors or windows, only countless array seals. The dense array seals suppressed the stone room. These array seals were all rich in spiritual qi, and traces of demonic qi came from under the array seals. He understood now. This demonic qi had leaked out from the formation. Wind Demon wanted to enter this place. He believed that there was something Wind Demon wanted here. However, his gaze was quickly attracted by the crystals in the corners of the stone room. The crystals were the size of a fist and emitted a shocking spiritual energy. Top-grade Mystic Crystal, the legendary top-grade Mystic Crystal. A Xian crystal that surpasses spirit stones is actually a top-grade Xian crystal. He was stunned when he saw the 4 fist-sized Xian crystals. A single Xian crystal was priceless. Even a monarch-level Xian artifact couldn't exchange for such a Xian crystal. He had a divine weapon, but he was really envious of this mystic crystal. Li Lingtian was puzzled by the fact that his divine consciousness did not resist the mystic crystal when it came into contact with it. Since this place had mystic crystals, array seals, and demonic qi, it should be used to suppress the terrifying demons below. But why was there no restriction on this mystic crystal? If it were other warriors, they would have taken the Xian crystal long ago. However, he was careful. If he took away the Xian crystal that suppressed the devil race, he would release the devil race. But now that there was no unusual movement from the mystic crystal, he felt troubled. If he gave it up like this, he wouldn't be able to bear it. If he took it away, he was worried that he would be threatened. Chapter 93, Empyrean Demon Flame. Chapter 93, Empyrean Demon Flame. Try again. With that thought in mind, Li Lingtian released his divine consciousness again and gently touched the mystic crystal. However, the moment his soul consciousness touched the mystic crystal, it started to spin. At the same time, the other 3 mystic crystals also started to spin. Not good. He had a bad feeling. He didn't expect to touch the Xian crystals. All 4 Xian crystals started to rotate. 2 seconds later, the mystic crystal turned into ashes with a crisp sound. The 4 Xian crystals had all disappeared. The priceless Xian crystals had been destroyed. However, he was not worried about the Xian crystals, but his luck. This Xian crystal had been used for tens of thousands of years and had reached the end of its life. Even if he didn't touch it, this mystic crystal wouldn't be able to support much. Now that he moved, it accelerated the destruction of the mystic crystal. At the same time that the mystic crystal was destroyed, the stone room erupted with an astonishing amount of demonic qi. The array seal trembled continuously and Li Lingtian could feel the terrifying aura. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. As the mystic crystal was destroyed, 4 blazing flames burst out from the 4 corners. The flames were imbued with spirituality as they quickly shot toward Li Lingtian. The 4 flames fused together, and the strange blood-red flames looked like the blood-red eyes of a demon. Could it be the Empyrean demon flame? Li Lingtian shuddered when he saw the flames. With his flaming sacred body and the 9 Yang Saint Lord's 9 Yang sacred flame, he had a better understanding of the flames in the world. He had never thought that he would encounter the most vicious and terrifying Empyrean demon flame here. The Empyrean demon flame was the most powerful flame of the demon race and could devour everything in the world. Heaven and earth burning. 9 Suns sacred flame. Seeing the Empyrean demon flame shoot toward him, the flame seemed to have a spirit, like a demon. When Li Lingtian thought of the demonic sacred flame's attempt to possess him, he felt fear in his heart. He immediately unleashed his most powerful flame. Qi. Qi. The heaven and earth incinerating flames were neutralized along with the 9 Suns sacred flame. The heavenly demonic sacred flame shot toward Li Lingtian swiftly. True Dragon Body Protection. With the True Dragon's body barrier, an astonishing dragon energy was emitted from the divine dragon ring. Finally, Li Lingtian unleashed it in an attempt to resist the Empyrean demon sacred flame with his dragon energy. This kind of spiritual flame was not an ordinary attack, but its power was heaven-defying and terrifying. Attacks were completely ineffective. Qi. The dragon energy was also completely destroyed. Li Lingtian felt despair when he saw this. It was as if he had seen the demonic flames smiling wantonly when they arrived. Sacrifice. The dragon cry battle halberd was unleashed, but it was ineffective. Sacrifice. All the celestial weapons were unleashed, but they were unable to slow down the speed of the Empyrean demon flame. In the blink of an eye, the Empyrean demon flame was already 5 meters away from Li Lingtian. For the first time, he felt powerless. He had used all the profound level weapons in the divine dragon ring, but there was no effect at all. Sacrifice. He reached out with one hand. When he discovered the treasure he had taken out, a bitter smile appeared on his face. He had actually taken out the heaven and earth creation cauldron in a hurry. Although the heaven and earth creation cauldron was extremely magical in alchemy, it did not have much power. Was he not looking for death? He could only watch as the Empyrean demon flame shot towards his forehead. Instinctively, he blocked with the heaven and earth creation cauldron in his hand. The Empyrean demon's sacred flame collided with the cauldron, and something amazing happened. The heaven and earth creation cauldron burst out with a white light. The light was holy and majestic. The Empyrean demon flame was wrapped up by the holy light. It kept struggling, but it didn't have any reaction. It was suppressed by the light. Phew. Li Lingtian felt as if he was in a dream when he witnessed the terrifying Empyrean demon flame being subdued by a cauldron. What kind of amazing and heaven-defying effect did this cauldron have? He had obtained this treasure for so long and did not understand it at all. The Empyrean demon flame disappeared into the cauldron. A fist-sized flame was trapped inside the creation cauldron. The light of the heaven and earth creation cauldron turned the stone room into a passage. Li Lingtian did not dare to stay any longer when he saw this opportunity. He dashed toward the passageway with Little White in his arms. Damned human, if I come out with my Empyrean demon flames, 1 foot 11 inches definitely refine your soul. When Li Lingtian entered the passageway, he heard a furious roar. The voice was terrifyingly seductive, just like the sound wave attack of a mighty demon. F***ck, what kind of demon is down there? Li Lingtian cursed in his heart. By the time he was done cursing, he had already appeared outside the array altar. The suction force of the array altar had also disappeared. The stone walls on both sides quickly closed, allowing him to quickly shoot out without any hesitation. Rumble. With a shocking explosion, the two stone walls of the giant rock fused together without the slightest crack. It was impossible to tell that this was actually a passageway. There were still devil experts suppressed under the island. In the future, even if he was beaten to death, he would never come here again. Seal. He grabbed a stone with one hand. The overbearing Jinchi turned the stone into the size of an inner core and stuffed it into the black hole, blocking it. Then, a force flattened the stone wall. As long as it wasn't someone with a mind, they wouldn't be able to discover the secret here. After that, he brought Little White to the island in a flash. He looked at the heaven and earth creation cauldron in his hand and saw that the Empyrean demon's sacred flame inside had been completely suppressed. Only then did he feel slightly relieved. He put the heaven and earth creation cauldron into the divine dragon ring, where he was the true ruler. Even the Empyrean demon's sacred flames had to listen to him. Let's go. With a wave of his hand, an exquisite flying ship appeared in front of him. Then, the flying ship became huge. This flying ship belonged to Wind Demon. He came here in this flying ship. Wind Demon was killed by him, so Wind Demon's things naturally became his. He steered the flying ship around the original route and began to fly at high speed. It took him a full 10 days to finally leave the Endless Sea. He didn't dare to enter Xianming City. Countless Xianming cities and their nearby powerhouses had fallen at the hands of the Devil Sea's wind demons and infant carp beasts. Only he and the 10 martial arts grandmasters had returned alive. Naturally, they would be noticed. In a town 100 miles away from Xianming City, Li Lingtian scanned the place with his divine perception. There were no super powerhouses around. Sir, do you want to stay or eat? Li Lingtian had just arrived in front of the inn when a waiter greeted him respectfully. Although Li Lingtian had traveled a long distance, he did not use much true qi on the spaceship. It was just that he did not have much time to rest. The man didn't dare to be careless with his temperament and attire. Give me a separate courtyard. Li Lingtian said calmly. He needed to rest for 2 days. He had not rested much during this period of time. Now that he was leaving the Endless Sea, he needed to recuperate. Alright, 10 low-grade spirit stones a day for a single room and 50 low-grade spirit stones a day for a single courtyard. The waiter spoke respectfully. Although his tone was polite, he was hinting at Li Lingtian. 50 spiritual stones was nothing to someone like Li Lingtian. However, for the workers in this town, 50 spirit stones was their annual benefit, comma. Chapter 94, Sky Dragon City. Chapter 94, Sky Dragon City. Li Lingtian did not say anything. With a wave of his hand, he tossed a storage pouch to the shop assistant. "Sir, please." The shop assistant was excited when he saw the hundreds of spiritual stones in the storage pouch. He then led Li Lingtian into the inn. After passing through passageways, they arrived at a courtyard. "Without my instructions, I will disturb you." As Li Lingtian entered the courtyard, he glared coldly at the attendant. With his frost martial soul, his gaze was as cold as ice, penetrating the attendant and causing him to tremble uncontrollably. "Disciple obeys. I dare not disturb your rest." The shop assistant kept on agreeing before he ran out of the courtyard. As a Tier 5 warrior, he felt like he had just walked through the gates of hell under Li Lingtian's sharp gaze. After entering a separate courtyard, a restriction was activated. There were only 4 rooms in the courtyard, but there were all kinds of daily necessities. After choosing a room, Li Lingtian fell asleep peacefully with Little White guarding the door. Ever since he left Xianming City for the Endless Sea, he had not been careless at all, let alone rest and sleep. After sleeping for 3 whole days, his spirit had recovered to its peak state. He had circulated the heaven and earth reincarnation art for 3 cycles, and his cultivation was also at its peak state. "Fuck, I don't want to kill people and steal their treasures, but I have such luck." He entered the Divine Dragon Ring with his consciousness and took out all the storage pouches he had obtained this time, as well as some spirit weapons and profound armaments. In the end, they began to count. This time, more than 500 warrior spirits, 500 warrior kings, and 47 martial grandmasters had died. There were more than 80 million spirit stones, 2,000 spirit weapons, 400 profound level weapons, and countless medicinal herbs. There were also countless yellow grade and profound level skills. However, Li Lingtian did not care about that. Spirit stones were just data to him. He stored the herbs in the Divine Dragon Ring. The spirit weapons and profound level weapons were also separated to one side and all entered the Divine Dragon Ring. What he cared about was Wind Demon's storage bag. In Wind Demon's storage bag, other than spirit stones and some evil cultivation techniques, there was also a pitch black will that emitted dense demonic chi. It was a pill formula for the demon transforming pill. Most of his items were used by the demon clan. There was also the formation seal in the giant rock. There was indeed a powerful demon clan suppressed under the formation seal. As for what kind of demon clan it was, Wind Demon didn't know. However, if this fiend came out, Eastern Spirit Azure Continent would be finished. After 2 hours of counting, he finally finished counting. There were countless spirit stones, medicinal herbs, spirit weapons, profound level weapons, cultivation techniques, skills, and inner core materials. Now his net worth had already reached as much as 170 million. If he added these spirit weapons and profound level weapons, his net worth was simply incomparable. In terms of treasures and wealth, not even Eastern Spirit Azure Continent could compare to him. Not to mention Eastern Spirit Azure Continent, even the entire Divine Martial Continent could not compare to him. His treasures were all unique existences. It was just that he could not control them now. After resting in the inn for 10 days, he calculated the time. There was only a little more than a month before the Sky Dragon City Genius competition. Although this place was not too far from Sky Dragon City, he did not want to fly now. It was time to get on the road. After leaving the inn, he walked towards the small square of the town. "Sir, do you need a beast carriage?" During this period of time, Zheng Lin did not have any business. A low-level disciple like him had no cultivation techniques or spirit weapons. He could only rely on this beast carriage to earn some spirit stones to cultivate. Just as he was about to leave the square and return, a young man appeared in his line of sight. Immediately, a smile appeared on his face as he stepped forward and asked respectfully. However, when he saw the young man's temperament and cultivation, the smile on his face became extremely respectful. Are we going to Sky Dragon City?" Li Lingtian glanced at the middle-aged man on the beast carriage and asked indifferently. The beast carriage was only a Tier 1 Class 7 mystical beast. However, this mystical beast was a dark gale beast known for its speed. It was not bad. Go, of course. As long as there are spirit stones, Sky Dragon Empire will send you to any place. Zheng Lin patted his chest but stopped when he saw the impatient look in Li Lingtian's eyes. He could not help but get to know this young man once again. He could not even see through his profound cultivation. The calm expression on his face did not match his age, so she did not dare to be careless. Then this young master will rent this beast carriage. If you reach Sky Dragon City within 10 days, this young master will not forget about your benefits. Li Lingtian said indifferently as he got onto the beast carriage. He completely ignored the stunned Zheng Lin and continued to rest in the carriage with his eyes closed. Alright, I promise to send you to Sky Dragon City within 10 days. Zheng Lin said happily. People like him who didn't ask about the price were usually generous, provided that the customer was satisfied. Squeak squeak, squeak squeak. As the beast carriage sped along the bluestone street, Li Lingtian closed his eyes to meditate and rest. Originally, if he were to ride a flying sword, it would only take him 2 to 3 days to reach Sky Dragon City. However, it was still early and there was no need to rush. It would be a waste not to use the beast carriage. To him, spiritual stones were just a number. 100 million spiritual stones didn't matter to him. Besides, if he needed spirit stones, he could just buy one of the spirit weapons and profound level weapons in the Divine Dragon Ring or refine some peerless pills. The spirit stones would come rolling in. In the beast carriage, Little White was sleeping on the genuine leather sofa. Li Lingtian was cultivating heaven and earth reincarnation along with other skills and techniques. However, most of them were comprehending the meteor shower and the fusion of ice and fire. The fusion of ice and fire was something that the 9-Yang Saint Lord had researched. Although no one had cultivated it before, it was something that the mighty figures of the divine realm had researched. Naturally, it was not something that the divine martial continent's cultivation techniques could compare to. He had been comprehending for 5 consecutive days, but the fusion of ice and fire was still in a state of half-understanding, making him feel powerless. It was as if he was missing an opportunity, so he could only give up on comprehending and focus on resting. He studied things that did not consume his mind like pill formulas. Hiss. The dark wind beast's voice rang out, and the beast carriage stopped. Sir, we have arrived at Sky Dragon City. At that moment, Zheng Lin's voice was transmitted into the beast carriage, pulling Li Lingtian back to reality from his meditation. Time really flies. We're already at Sky Dragon City. Li Lingtian muttered to himself before he stepped out of the beast carriage and adjusted to the glaring sunlight. He was shocked as he sized up the towering city in the distance. Sky Dragon City was the capital of Sky Dragon Empire. The entire city was like a huge mountain, surrounded by a 100-meter-tall wall. He couldn't see the world inside at all. However, this city was estimated to be at least thousands of square kilometers. It was dozens of times larger than the largest city in his previous life. Chapter 95, Killing the Patrol Team. Chapter 95, Killing the Patrol Team. Moreover, there were 4 citadels around the city, and each citadel was as big as a big city in his previous life. Do you want to enter the city? Li Lingtian sized up the middle-aged man who had a shrewd look in his eyes. On the way here, Zheng Lin had also revealed his information. He did not belong to any clan and was merely a rogue cultivator. You must be joking. The entrance fee to Sky Dragon City alone is 500 spirit stones. Zheng Lin revealed a bitter smile. If he could continue to mingle in Sky Dragon City, he would naturally be able to turn over a new leaf. It would be countless times better than being in the town of Xianming City. However, he could not even afford to pay the entrance fee, let alone survive inside. In the future, you can help me deal with some daily matters. Are you willing? Li Lingtian remained calm as he looked at Sky Dragon City in the distance. His starting point was Sky Cloud Sect, but he was now going to use Sky Dragon City as the cornerstone of his rise. As a newcomer, he naturally needed someone to help him with some daily matters. It was not a waste to not use someone who was already available. Yes, yes. This subordinate greets young master. Zheng Lin was stunned, but he immediately understood. He quickly bowed to Li Lingtian. Putting aside the youth's identity, the youth's cultivation base alone was not something he could compare to. If he followed such a person in Sky Dragon City, it might really become a turning point in his life. Let's go. This is for you. Let's go to the North Peace Marquis estate. With a wave of his hand, Li Lingtian tossed a storage pouch at Zheng Lin. He still remembered Sky Dragon City vividly. However, he was only a child when he left Sky Dragon City and he was a teenager when he returned. Although he didn't want to go to the North Peace Marquis estate, this place was still his home. Since he had come to Sky Dragon City, if he didn't return to the North Peace Marquis estate, it would inevitably cause misunderstandings. Young master is going to the North Peace Marquis estate. Zheng Lin happily took the storage bag and scanned it with his divine sense. His heart immediately trembled. There were actually spirit tools, pills, and tens of thousands of spirit stones inside. Seeing these items, he was even more excited about his decision. To be able to be so generous at the beginning, he was definitely not a simple person. However, when he heard about the Northern Marquis mansion, he was stunned. What's wrong? Is there a problem? Li Lingtian turned around and looked at Zheng Lin. He had been away from the Marquis residence of North Peace for a few years and had no idea what was happening in Sky Dragon City, let alone the situation in the Marquis residence of North Peace. No, there's no problem. It's just that young master, in recent years, many things have happened in the Pingbei Marquis residence. Even the Pingbei Marquis has been transferred back to the Sky Dragon City. His authority has been transferred, and the Pingbei Marquis residence is in a very bad situation. One heard about this when my cousin came to Sky Dragon City to buy materials. If you want to visit your relatives, I advise you to wait for a while. Sky Dragon City was the capital of the empire and the center of power. There were countless powerhouses and powerful ministers. None of them were people a warrior spirit disciple could be involved with. Let's go. Li Lingtian got on the beast carriage and allowed Zheng Lin to drive it into Sky Dragon City. He felt conflicted as he did not want to return to Marquis Pingbei's residence because he was the Li Lingtian of the 21st century. However, now that the Northern Marquis estate was in trouble, he didn't want to retreat because he was also a person of this world. Yes. Zheng Lin had a bitter smile on his face. However, when he thought about how Li Lingtian was not afraid, he had nothing to be afraid of. With that said, he drove the carriage towards Sky Dragon City's city gates. Although Sky Dragon City seemed very close, it was not that easy to reach the city gate. It took them half an hour to reach the city gate. There was an endless stream of martial artists on the Heavenly Dragon Great Dao. Martial artists, martial spirits, and even martial kings were very common. Sky Dragon City, take a detour. A Tier 9 warrior spirit patrolling martial artists saw the beast-drawn carriage speeding towards them and was satisfied with its speed. He immediately shouted out loud. Judging from the decorations of the beast-drawn carriage, there was no big shot inside. In a place like Sky Dragon City, they had the final say because they were protected by top-notch figures. Continue walking, ignore them. Li Lingtian's voice reached Zheng Lin's ears. Since he was going to get himself involved in this mess, he had to make a big deal out of it. A mere city gate patrol dared to block his ride. He was courting death. Giddy up. Zheng Lin was shocked, but after hearing Li Lingtian's words, he had no choice but to take a gamble. This was a wild gamble. He could not enter Sky Dragon City in the past, but now that he had the chance, he could try. The speed of the beast carriage did not slow down, but instead increased. In the blink of an eye, they arrived at the city gate. All the passers-by were shocked. There was actually someone who dared to challenge the authority of the patrol team. "You're courting death." Young Exaian was stunned when he saw that the beast carriage was accelerating instead of slowing down. In the past, even nobles, ministers, and martial kings would stop at the city gate. However, this time, an ordinary beast carriage actually dared to provoke him. He flew into a rage and circulated all the true qi in his body. Then, he threw a punch at the beast carriage, and a violent whirlwind smashed toward the beast carriage. "You're really courting death? Causing trouble in Sky Dragon City? You're asking for death." The patrol team is the Young family's power. In Sky Dragon Empire, who would dare to provoke the Young family? In the past, there was still the North Peace Marquis mansion that fought against the Young family. Now, the North Peace Marquis mansion has declined. One move from a Tier 9 warrior spirit. Sigh, what a result. Countless pedestrians were gloating as they looked at the beast carriage beneath the whirlwind and the shocked Xinglin. Xinglin was only a Tier 6 warrior. In front of a Tier 9 warrior spirit, he did not even have the will to defend himself. Those who could enter and leave Sky Dragon City were all martial artists. Naturally, they knew about the furious attack of a Tier 9 warrior spirit. Just as the fist force was about to hit the beast carriage, something strange happened. The violent fist force whirlwind was blocked by a strange faint halo. The halo did not have any pressure, and the fist force whirlwind was instantly swallowed by the halo. All. With a terrifying scream, young Exaian was suspended in the air by a strange force. His face revealed a terrifying and painful expression, and his face kept shrinking. Boom! With a loud explosion, young Exaian, a Tier 9 warrior spirit, exploded strangely and turned into a bloody curtain. His entire body vanished into thin air. The halo disappeared, and all the warriors present were stunned. What kind of powerful and heaven-defying move was this? Not only was the Tier 9 warrior spirit's attack ineffective, but it had also killed them. The beast carriage did not stop from the beginning to the end. It moved forward quickly. Zhenglin's expression was as if he had seen a ghost. He knew better than anyone else that the person inside the beast carriage was merely a warrior spirit. He did not expect that he would be able to unleash such a shocking attack. You came to Sky Dragon City to cause trouble. You don't even take Sky Dragon Empire seriously. Where do you think the Young family is? With a loud roar, a middle-aged man in green descended from the city wall. His entire body was emitting a violent aura. More than 20 Tier 3 Martial King experts had already blocked the front of the city gate. They were only 20 meters away from the beast carriage. The azure-robed middle-aged man who had descended from the city wall glanced at the beast carriage with a sharp gaze. His entire body floated in the air, looking down on all the warriors with a high and mighty attitude. Peak rank 9 Martial King. All the martial artists were shocked. They did not expect that there would be a peak rank 9 Martial King among the 20 Martial Kings. Rank 9 Martial Kings had already exceeded the scope of Martial Kings and was one step into the martial arts Grandmaster realm. A peak rank 9 Martial King could even fly for a short period of time. This was also the symbol of a peak rank 9 Martial King. Everyone could tell the middle-aged man's cultivation at a glance. Patrol Company Leader, Young Family's Genius Expert. Looks like the people in the beast carriage are going to be unlucky this time. Provoking the Young family is no different from looking down on the ruler. All the martial artists discussed animatedly. They used their Chaojin Qi to resist the pressure of a 9th-level martial king. They were shocked by the power of the Young family, but some were curious to see who was inside the beast carriage. Chapter 96, Chapter 96, Rank 9 Martial King, Death. Chapter 96, Rank 9 Martial King, Death. This young lord is returning. Don't tell me your Young family is going to use this little lineup to welcome this young lord? A calm voice sounded. The voice was calm and peaceful as if it was talking about a very ordinary matter. It completely ignored the rank 9 martial king and the 20 or so martial kings in the air. No matter how foolish they were, they would understand that the person inside the carriage was only a youth. This voice was no older than 20 years old. Who are you? This is Sky Dragon City. You killed a member of the patrol team and violated the laws of the Empire. You ignored the dignity of the Yang family and should be punished. Yang Haozong was stunned when he heard the voice inside the beast carriage. He thought that the person inside the beast carriage should be a powerful martial king or even a martial arts grandmaster. Why was it just a young man's voice? However, in Sky Dragon Empire, the Yang family was the biggest, unless they were members of the royal family. However, the royal family's beast carriage had a special symbol, so it was impossible for them to ride in such an ordinary beast carriage. The Yang family? Fuck your Yang family. In front of me, the Yang family is just a pile of trash. Li Lingtian's killing intent surged as he secretly instructed Jing Lin to drive the car forward. The Yang family dared to use the Yang family to threaten him. Was this not courting death? You're courting death. When the 20 martial kings saw the beast carriage approaching, they did not wait for Yang Haozong to say anything before launching dozens of attacks at the beast carriage. Instantly, the air outside the city gate was filled with energy, and the space trembled. All the surrounding martial artists were pressed to the ground by the pressure of more than 20 martial kings. They were extremely shocked. You overestimate yourself. The calm voice from inside the beast carriage rang out once again. The voice turned cold, and the temperature between heaven and earth plummeted. Everyone could clearly feel the temperature drop, and the area within a kilometer of the city gate was covered in white frost. Dozens of attacks arrived in front of the beast carriage in the blink of an eye. If they were hit, even a martial arts grandmaster would be crushed. At this moment, dozens of attacks froze. A glacier with a radius of 100 meters suddenly appeared. The 20 or so martial king realm experts were frozen into ice sculptures by the glacier. The world instantly fell silent. Die! Die! A cold voice rang out, as if it came from the depths of hell. The glacier shattered into pieces, and more than 20 martial king realm experts were directly turned into pieces. All! Someone's scream broke the silence. Even bystanders would be shocked to death by what they saw. The attack of more than 20 martial king realm experts was actually neutralized by the other party and killed at the same time. This kind of heaven-defying skill was too terrifying. What a terrifying ice martial spirit. This is no different from the legendary 1,000 Miles of Ice. Could it be that there's a martial arts grandmaster in the beast carriage? This time, the Yang family has lost a lot of face. Warriors were usually not afraid of things getting out of hand. Although they were shocked by the changes just now, those who dared to provoke the Yang family wanted to know who it was. Die, die. Yang Haozong, who was in the air, reacted and was instantly enraged. A shocking frosty chi had erupted from the beast carriage just now, restraining the attacks of more than 20 martial kings. A glacier had killed all the martial kings. However, he had already discovered that the cultivation of the person in the beast carriage had definitely not reached the martial king realm. Martial kings had the pressure and aura of a martial king, while martial arts grandmasters had the aura of a martial arts grandmaster. Since he used such a powerful attack, he must have used some kind of treasure. If he encountered it, if he didn't kill it, he would be sentenced to death when he returned to the Yang family. Flame Gold Changyang Tian, die for your father. Yang Haozong swooped down from the sky and unleashed a shocking attack. His entire body was covered in a golden shield of light, as if a god had descended. The people inside the beast carriage had glaciers, so he used his strongest defense. This way, he could shatter the beast carriage with one strike and kill the people inside. Even a martial arts grandmaster would not dare to easily block the full-force attack of a peak tier 9 martial king. Outside the city gate, a golden light shone. Under the golden light, the beast carriage seemed extremely small. You won't die if you don't seek death, but you. If you want to die, then die. Dominating Heaven Fist, destroy it. The voice inside the beast carriage was still very calm, but after the voice fell, a domineering and unparalleled pressure erupted. A huge fist shadow directly met the attack descending from the sky. The fist shadow carried destructive power, and the two attacks collided in the blink of an eye. Rumble. With a shocking explosion, the fist shadow and the golden attack collided. Instantly, two rays of light exploded. The ground trembled, and the golden light disappeared. The fist shadow also disappeared. The earth regained its peace. In the sky, Yang Haozong, who had been sent flying by the fist shadow, fell down fiercely. He spat out a mouthful of blood. All the meridians in his body were broken. He was a cripple. This is my token. Open your dog eyes and see clearly. The Yang family better not provoke this young master, or else the Yang family will vanish into thin air. A jade token shot out from the beast carriage and landed in the hands of a warrior spirit team member at the city gate. All the martial artists were no longer in a good mood. Curiosity could kill. More than 20 rank 3 martial kings had died, and the last attack from a peak rank 9 martial king had been crippled. Outside the city gate, hundreds of pedestrians didn't dare to move. They quietly scanned the jade plate with their spiritual senses. North Peace Marquis Residence's Li Lingtian. The member of the search team woke up from his shock. His heart was pounding non-stop, worried that the person in the beast carriage would give him a blow. When he saw the jade token in his hand, his eyes revealed a look of disbelief. Li Lingtian from the Northern Marquis Residence. Marquis Pingbei only had one son, Li Lingtian. However, Li Lingtian was only 15 or 16 years old. How could he be so powerful? Li Lingtian from the Northern Marquis Residence. Could it be that Li Lingtian from the Northern Marquis Residence? But Li Lingtian is only a teenager. This attack is definitely not something that a youth can unleash. Could it be that there are other people in the beast carriage? But there is only one person in the beast carriage. All the martial artists were incomparably shocked. Most of these people were from Sky Dragon City. They were extremely clear about the Northern Marquis Residence. These days would not be easy. Marquis Pingbei only had one son. They would never believe that the person in the beast carriage was Li Lingtian even if they were beaten to death. No matter how powerful a person was, he would not have such a shocking cultivation base in his teens. Squeak squeak. The beast carriage disappeared from the city gate and headed straight into the city, leaving behind a group of cultivators who were stunned outside the city gate. By the time the warriors regained their senses, Li Lingtian's beast carriage had already disappeared. The Northern Marquis mansion has always been suppressed by the Yang family, but now, I didn't expect that they would actually kill the Yang family so brazenly. Looks like Sky Dragon City won't be very quiet for a while. Dare to challenge the Yang family, there's going to be a good show. Li Lingtian, the heir of the North Marquis Residence, killed the Yang family's martial king powerhouse. For a moment, the news of the northern city of Heavenly Dragon Great City was all over the place. Tea houses and inns were filled with news of what happened outside the city gates. From the beginning to the end, no one had seen what the person inside the beast carriage looked like,